Hi, chat. It's me here, your boy Biggie Smalls. What I'm here to do mostly is clear the air about it because there's a lot of memes about, oh yeah, Tetsuya Nomura doesn't know how to tell a story. And a lot of the people who are parts of these projects are getting consistent blame for a lot of things that really aren't their fault. Like, there's this habit of dunking so hard on the Kingdom Hearts franchise in specific that people have actually in real life called for Tetsuya Nomura to be banned from any video game development.
I, as a kid, loved Kingdom Hearts 1. It was one of my favorite experiences in gaming. I fell in love with it. I played it at my grandma's house with my aunt, who's about my age. I had such a good time. When Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, I was thrilled. I was so excited. At that point, I'd moved to live in the far north of British Columbia in a tiny little reservation town. And when we went to a big city, I asked my parents, I begged them to get me the new game when I saw it was out. And I started up Kingdom Hearts 2, and as much as I loved that game overall, I immediately had no idea what was happening. I was at a loss. I didn't understand anything. And I think that feeling is what kept me from engaging with the series ever again. And I watched like a lot of Let's Plays because I've been curious. I wanted to figure out what exactly is going on. I've wanted to understand Kingdom Hearts lore. So I'm going to be really blunt about the perspective I'm coming from. We are going to lore court. I am coming from the perspective of someone who once loved Kingdom Hearts. I thought it was great, and I have since grown jaded and hateful, contemptuous of the series. So we're going to have Biggie and several other people who are welcome to join. There is going to be a series of lawyers coming to defend Kingdom Hearts in Kingdom Hearts lore court. Here's the standards. So tell me if this feels fair, Biggie. I'm going to be drawing the whole time, which means you can use no visual aids. This story
Perfectly fine.
is going to need to make sense to me and appeal to me, and I'm going to need to think it's cool. I am someone who likes getting rants about lore. I don't dislike complex lore. I don't dislike lore that's told in peculiar ways. I spent like my night relaxing a few nights ago watching lore videos of Fear and Hunger, like video after video, trying to understand it, having never played the game. So in theory, if I am allowing myself to be open-minded, it shouldn't be that hard to convince me to not hate Kingdom Hearts.
All right, so I'm going to start with that thing I told you about at the beginning of the session.
Okay.
Because there's one thing you need to understand about Kingdom Hearts before anything else happens. For anything else.
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts is a Disney Shonen battle series.
All right.
That
now
is effectively being run week to week.
Okay, but it's not being run week to week. It's being run in like release schedules of games that come out like every 2.5 years, right?
Yes, but when it comes to actually engaging with it, one of the things you have to understand is no one expected Kingdom Hearts to be a success.
No.
It was a lot like Arknights, which is a game I play, where two people met in an elevator and something weird happened, and now we have this thing, and now it exists in the collective conscious of humanity for the next, I want to give it a couple decades at the very least. So every time a game finishes, no one's sure where we're going next.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things that are open to interpretation as we go from game to game are happening specifically because, are we going to get a new game? Or what permissions are we going to have? In Kingdom Hearts 3, Nomura didn't want to include as many Disney movies as he actually did. He wanted to start stepping closer to actual Kingdom Hearts lore, but Disney has a stranglehold on that. Disney doesn't let him do the things he wants every single time.
Yeah,
they did let Woody tell an emo kid to fuck off, though.
I do truly love, I think if Kingdom Hearts has brought anything good into this world, it is the shot of Woody yelling at an emo kid that nobody loves you. Insanely good comedy, that. If Kingdom Hearts was all that... You can tell how it was
grating on Nomura, because there's another scene in that same game that doesn't get as much love, where a similar emo kid gets thrown through a Monsters, Inc. door, they pick up the door, throw that door through a new door, and proceed to do this like 5 times before grabbing the last door and chucking it in a shredder.
See, if they did more shit like that, where there was like cool plays on the magical properties of Disney worlds, that's what was fun about Kingdom Hearts 1, right? That's why I think I enjoyed it so much, was it really felt like a good blend of Disney and Final Fantasy, where you have the JRPG mechanics, you have all the Final Fantasy, everything going on, and the thing that you're getting in addition to that is fun Disney worlds, and they're each playing on it. Like you have size changing and the various rooms in Alice in Wonderland, you have all the sliding on vines penguins in Tarzan. You have swimming around in Little Mermaid. Like, each of the Disney worlds feels like it changes the way you interact with the 3D environment. And I feel like over time that is lost. I actually think your defense is a criticism I have. I think if Nomura wants to tell his own story about Kingdom Hearts lore and doesn't want to include all the Disney stuff and feels beholden to, that sucks a lot, and it strips the charm out of the game.
He is in a stranglehold.
Yeah,
like,
but
for better or worse, in terms of corporate allowances, he's not allowed to do everything he wants.
I've seen what he wanted to do in Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it's the worst part of the game, is the things that he added in. Maybe it's better if he's in a stranglehold, and it was actually more fun when there was passion in the Disney worlds, instead of it feeling like a kid's pouting in the corner. Like, including a bit in Toy Story, where the Toy Story level becomes mostly about his weird OC, because there's a video game of his OC in the Toy Story world. That's such a weird, bad use of a Disney level. That sucks to me. That's worse. That's worse than if there was passion in the Disney worlds, like in KH1.
I'm not saying this is a good thing. I'm not saying it's good or bad. Like I said, I'm not coming into this with a very aggressive mindset of we're going to be arguing about this a lot.
You're in lore court. You better argue. Convince me. I'm going to be blunt about the things I don't like, and I want you to try to change my mind. I want to be convinced to love this series again.
If I say feelings about any given thing are invalid, that's not going to change your mind.
Hey, Kamuri King,
understand where you're coming from.
Kamuri King, don't you lie to me. It's introduced in the intro of the Toy Story level. I've watched a Let's Play of Kingdom Hearts 3. The intro level of Kingdom Hearts 3, or I said Toy Story, it introduces you to the concept. They're watching it.
You're talking about the advertisement.
Yeah, the advertisement, but is introduced, and then the finale entirely revolves around it.
No, that's a secret boss.
The Toy Story level exists to introduce his fun OC. That, to me, is how it came across. It had no interest in engaging with Toy Story, and wanted as much as possible. Did you play all of Kingdom Hearts 3? I didn't play it. I watched all of it in a Let's Play while working.
Here's the thing. If you go through it one step at a time and play each game individually, it's really not confusing. Because they explain
we're not even at the confusing argument yet. I don't think we're at the confusing argument. My current argument is, I think Kingdom Hearts was at its best when there was a passion for both sides of it, and now it feels like a kid who's mad he has to drag around all these Disney toys. And also it does feel like Disney's letting him get away with less, because the Frozen level sucked and was mostly just a retelling of the movie, where he wasn't allowed to actually experiment and have fun with it. So, like, I get why you'd be upset, but I think it ruins it in both ways, because it feels like no one wants to use the Disney levels in a fun way on Nomura's end or Disney's end. Like, nobody wants that.
No, Nomura has a lot of fun with a lot of these Disney levels. We've talked about how Toy Story has that moment where, like, oh, it's all darkness and evil, and Woody just goes, hold up, let me cook.
Yeah,
nobody loves
great.
You, kid. You are just objectively wrong about all of this. When you get into Monsters, Inc. world, you get that moment where Sora and everybody become monsters. When they go to the Big Hero 6 world, San Francisco, it still does that.
You have to admit,
there are some moments where you have to realize that Disney's not going to let him get away with making his own little changes to it. We can't get the in-between for Frozen 1 and 2 because Frozen 2 hadn't come out yet.
But even then, like, even if you couldn't do the in-between, like, there are things you could have done that were interesting and fun that it feels like either he wasn't allowed to do in Frozen or didn't want to do. Like, it feels like you don't have to tell an in-between story. They found ways to work with the worlds in clever ways in the past. Yes, this is Sora as Charlie Day. That is what is happening. Let's go into the confusing part, because I think that's the main complaint people have, is that it's confusing.
That's the main complaint everyone has, but it's really not that true.
Okay.
Unless you start going into it like I do, which no one does. It is a very small contingent of the community that does that.
All right, tell me how it's not confusing. Explain it to me. We're going to have no visual aids and see if I can understand and follow. If I can, I'm going to say it's not confusing.
All right, so you know how there's morals and, like, white and black are both a kind of morality? Black morality is, oh, you're evil, you're doing all of this bad stuff, stop doing bad things. And white morality is, oh, you're helping people, you're making life easier for people, you're saving them from fascism or from evil kings trying to conquer their land or some shit like that.
That doesn't sound exactly right to black and white moral philosophy, but I don't know it in enough detail to say what's wrong.
There is good and there is bad.
Yeah, but there's good guys and bad guys.
Tangible forces in this world. Good has a tangible force and evil has a tangible force.
Yes.
That's where we start with the basics. You can do good things, you can do bad things. Anyone can do both. Anyone can tap into the power, but they are fundamental forces, like gravity. Or in magic terms, there's good light magic and dark magic. It's just a thing.
Okay.
Pretty simple, right?
Yep.
Keyblades are basically manifestations of the ability to connect with these powers.
So the ability to connect with good and evil is represented by a big sword
To
that's
connect
a
with
key.
the primordial forces, yeah. It's basically a magic artifact. It is the MacGuffin.
A magic artifact that there's only one of the special one that's the Greek symbol key, and that there's 3 million of that are the basic ones.
Yeah, pretty much. Because basically there's a door that stops people from just letting all this power out.
Okay, where's the door? Wait, what do you mean there's a door?
Metaphorical door.
So a metaphorical door stops individuals from letting the power out, or everybody? You have lost me on what the door is.
Let's put it this way. Because there's good and evil, there's an infinite wealth of power in both of them. You could reach in and you could pull it out and you could basically become a god.
Okay, wait. Okay. So any person in theory can reach into the limitless power of good and evil, and there is a door that stops them, and the Keyblade is a weapon that allows people to reach into the infinite power of good and evil.
Pretty much. It's an old world.
Okay. And the door is figurative, but it is opened by the door is figurative, but it is opened by a literal key, and the key is magic swords shaped like keys.
It is a magic sword shaped like a key. Yeah, that's called the Keyblade.
Yeah, people are pointing out in chat, why isn't there the real door? Because in the one game, there's the real door.
We'll get to that.
Oh, boy.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
I'm explaining the most basics of the basics.
Okay, the basics of the basics is that there's a limitless font of power based off of the essence of good and evil that anyone can access if they have a magic key.
Yeah, if you get a magical artifact, you can access the MacGuffin power-up, yes.
All right.
This is pretty normal in a lot of fiction. Good example of this would also be Indiana Jones. We found the Ark of the Covenant. You can access the holy power of God. All you do is open a crate.
I will say there is a core difference in the fact that Indiana Jones doesn't have a field of thousands upon thousands of discarded Arks of the Covenant. However, I'm here, I'm listening, I have done my best to understand thus far, and at the point that I was confused, I stopped for an explanation so that I was able to take in the rest.
It's not that hard to really understand. It's just,
okay,
there's a MacGuffin force.
Good and evil.
Everybody can be good and everyone can be evil. But because evil and good are tangible forces in the world, there is the ability to manipulate them. An evil wizard could do it. There are forces inside of people that can be manipulated. There's good and there's evil.
Wait, Kamari King's pointing out I'm wrong. Indiana Jones has the warehouse of the top men that's full of ancient magical artifacts. Actually, never mind. They do exactly that. You're right. It was an apt comparison, and I was wrong. I am but a fool.
Thank you. I'm not going to call you a fool, but I'm glad we got the warehouse. So, good and evil exist in people. People can be good, people can be evil.
Okay.
But because good and evil are fundamental forces in the world, if you're good and evil, the good and evil that's inside of you as a person starts to shift. It starts to affect you as a person. For example, if you become very good, you might start being able to use light magic. Or if you become very evil, you might start sacrificing human beings or possessing other people. And because these forces exist and can be manipulated, people from a very long time ago were like, we're going to metagame this system so hard. We're going to get all of the good power and we're going to make it all work out really well. And then there was a guy, he's clearly not all there. He's born with the power to do something similar to what a MacGuffin can do. He can see the future, and he decides, I'm going to write the future down in a bunch of books. But the way he sees the future is that he sees it through his other eye. So if he closes his left eye, he's seeing the present. Closes his right eye, he's seeing the future.
Okay.
But since he can only see things through that eye, he takes out his eye like he's a Naruto character.
Anime characters do be constantly pulling out eyeballs.
Yeah. And so he puts it into one of these weapons, and there are a lot of them. They're all shaped after the magical MacGuffin because everyone's basically kind of going all religious on it, like, oh, this is an ancient magical artifact. Maybe we can channel some small piece of the power if we also have Keyblades.
So, wait. Okay. They wanted to have a monopoly on the good power. A guy was born who can see the future, and people say maybe we can have some of the power if we have magical keys.
Yes. Because the key is the shape of the thing that accesses the MacGuffin power source.
Okay, I think I'm with you. I am with you so far.
The way you've described it, you're entirely with me. This guy decides to get by everyone else by putting his eye in one of those keys like he is a Naruto character. This guy decides to write a book that tells the future, but he can only see the things he is physically present for. Or in this case now, see the things that this Keyblade, not with the special Greek letter Chi, can see.
Okay, well, wait, so it's a special Keyblade, but it's not the Greek letter Chi / key. This is a
there's
different
the
special
Key,
Keyblade.
Key, which is the normal version, and then there's the Keyblade, which is spelled with the Greek letter Chi. That's the MacGuffin one.
Okay, but is there just one Keyblade at this point, or is there a bunch of them?
They're making Keyblades.
Okay, so they're making a bunch of Keyblades.
The fancy MacGuffin version, they're making their basic equivalents. There is the cross of Jesus, and then there are the rest of the crosses. Okay. Not every cross was blessed by Jesus.
All right. So the way to think of it is that the Keyblade, Greek letter Chi Keyblade, is the crucifix, and the other ones are rosaries.
Yes.
All right, perfect. I now understand it, I think.
You do. No, it's not as complicated as people think. The basics are very basic. It is a good versus evil story at its core. But because this guy decides to write a book about the future, he gives it to a bunch of people who work with him or work for him, but that's not very important. But since he can only see the things that are there are gaps in his books that see the future, and everyone else is like, hold up, this is supposed to be a prophecy book. Maybe things are incomplete because of the fact that someone is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And because evil, and therefore paranoia, are tangible forces that can directly impact who you are and how you act, an imbalance of evil changes you, the paranoia starts to change these people. They become less kind to one another.
Okay.
Because they don't trust anyone. And eventually, it gets so bad, they and all of their apprentices start going, no, we have to make sure that we have as much of the power as we can. We can't trust this person. We can't trust this person. And they just keep on going. Hey, Axemek.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm talking about the original world. We're in Union.
Oh boy. Okay, so I'm not as experienced with the Union cross.
Don't worry, we're doing it very basically. There's light, there's evil, there's Kingdom Hearts, there's the Keyblade, there are the rest of the Keyblades that were made in its image, and now the Master of Masters has fucked everything up.
For the sake of argument and for the sake of like pronunciation, can we just call it the Keyblade just so that we're not
let's call it the Keyblade. I think that's fair.
The holy crucifix.
What do you think, Drock? Would that make this easier?
Of course it would. You're here defending this series, and I know this is run into the ground. There's not a new observation. But do you know how fucking complicated it is that as a way of retconning, no, this is still the special one, even though we want a pile of Keyblades to exist. This is just a mispronounced Keyblade, but it's the Keyblade, and that sucks so hard. It is awful. It sucks so hard.
It's awful, but I love it in the same way that I love puns. The guy who could see the future fucked everything up because he didn't tell anybody how his future sight works. Everyone is really mad at each other. They don't trust one another. And eventually it goes into all-out war.
Who are the sides of the war? Is there sides? Is everyone just killing everybody?
Everyone is attacking everyone except for one group that's like, we're not going to go to war. We're just going to step away from all of this.
We're going to create a refugee effort, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a war of a bunch of people with magical keys that access the unlimited power of good and evil. Everyone's killing each other. It's not really a war as much as it's just like mass death event, but
it's a mass death event, and it comes with one other problem. You remember that huge graveyard of Keyblades?
Yeah, the one that I motioned to earlier in passing, and then people pointed out that it actually fits the Indiana Jones analogy. It's their equivalent of top men is a field somewhere.
All of these worlds used to be the same world. They basically pulled a Death Star and accidentally blew up the planet.
Okay, so all the worlds you meet in Kingdom Hearts used to be the world where all the Keyblades hang out in a field together.
Yes. Essentially like the Disney multiverse and like Final Fantasy, all the possible fictional worlds that you visit were once one singular world egg. And that egg got smashed with a frying pan when they decided to break the Keyblade graveyard.
It's a post-apocalyptic setting.
All right.
You've had worlds where worlds are destroyed and then some other shit happens, and now we have all the survivors on their own little floating islands out among the stars. And that is all you need to know about this. That is everything you need to understand up until the very end of Kingdom Hearts 3. Yep. But that is a secret ending. We're not going to bother with it.
Wait, what split the worlds up? What did that? Was it just all the fighting with the magical keys?
All the fighting. They kept on fighting, they kept on fucking everything up, and no one decided to stop except the one person who was like, we should have a refugee camp? I think fighting to the death is wrong and bad, guys. So we blew up the planet. An indeterminate amount of time passes, enough that all of these Keyblades have rusted, and some dude shows up and is like, okay, good and evil are supposed to be in a balance. but good is clearly winning, guys. This is not good for the balance of the world. So
Okay.
I'm going to try to make it so that there's more evil so that everyone is at peace because good and evil are equal.
That
This
wild
idiot
take.
is our main antagonist.
This is our good friend Xehanort, huh?
Yes, it is.
The guy who there's 15 of?
Remember how I said that if you use evil, you can take over people's bodies?
Someone's pointing out that this means Mickey Mouse and Tifa Lockhart are from the same world. Yeah,
This is correct, yes.
yeah.
They're from the
Ariel.
same world egg.
Oh boy.
The worlds grow their own life, and we get to that.
Oh my
It's not
god. Okay.
complicated, it's just weird.
A world egg is not a world. Everything was the world egg. Now they're worlds. All right.
Yeah.
Processing it. Okay.
Do you know,
Think
like,
of it like this. There are a bunch of chunks of land floating out there like islands in an ocean. That's it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if you've ever heard of like Shinto mythology, where it's just like the world was originally an egg and then it cracked, and then the islands of Japan rose out of the sea.
And what about everything else? Wasn't part of the egg. Doesn't matter.
So
All right. We got it. We got it. There was a world egg. It's
up
all
to
separate
Xehanort.
now.
You've covered like several thousand years of Kingdom Hearts lore. Congratulations.
We've done it. And now I'm an
So
expert.
now we're gonna get to this. Xehanort's an idiot. His whole thing is, but good and evil should be in a balance. Like, you know how in Star Wars it's like Anakin's supposed to bring balance to the Force?
Yep, and he does that by killing every Jedi and every Sith, and now everything's cool now.
Yeah, and except it's not. That's not how that works.
So just to give like an analogy, Xehanort is the dumbass centrist on Twitter who is like,
who sees that one side is fascism and the other side is the standard banal evil of impotence, and they're like, those are the same thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this makes sense.
That's why he's the antagonist, because he keeps on going. But we have the hydrogen bomb that is evil. Can't it be used for some good purpose? And
As-
every time he tries it, he is proven demonstrably wrong.
And yet he knows everything.
I
You
hate
give
that
this
is starting to make
dumbass with a
sense to me
STEM
more.
degree the power of like foresight to see every possible eventuality so that he can actually I am the right person and this was all according to my plan throughout an entire Darkseeker saga.
It is hilarious in retrospect how stupid he is. Allow me to explain the dumb centrist things he does. The Keyblade can access light and evil. So what if I made a person out of all light and a person out of all evil?
Oh no.
So he takes a child and then he splits him into two people.
Is this the Sora / Roxas boy?
This is Sora 1.
We have reached our official first Sora.
Yes.
Congratulations, Draw. Proud of you.
Have we talked about his connection to Union yet?
Okay,
no,
so
we're
so if
not
I can
talking
explain
about
from
that.
from my perspective,
Okay.
what I remember of this is the pure evil boy looks like Sora and the pure good boy looks like Roxas, and those are both Soras.
So, do you remember how I said everyone has good and evil in their hearts?
Yes.
This is physically separating them. So
Yeah, so
both of these
physically-
kids have half of a heart.
So we have physically separated one heart into two children who are both Soras because Roxases are Soras.
Well, no. This
Sorry.
is basically traumatic brain damage.
Yeah.
Traumatic brain damage has split into two Soras. Understood.
This is not the last time that there will be traumatic brain damage affecting how a character acts in the series, by the way. We'll
And
get
looks.
to that.
Okay.
But basically,
I-
traumatic brain damage has fucked this person up incredibly badly.
And Roxas
And-
number one, the pure good, is friends with anime's
We're
third
not done
hottest
with him yet.
Aqua.
We're not there, but you are correct. He is friends with
Yes.
Aqua and Terra. Yes.
Anime's third hottest Aqua. It's important that we include that.
You know what? Fair and reasonable. However, because he suffered traumatic brain damage, another heart reaches out to his and is like, yo, dude, you've kind of fucked yourself up here. What the hell happened?
Okay, is this to Xehanort or the kid who got split in half with traumatic brain
The
damage?
kid who got split in half with traumatic brain damage. Basically, what's happened here is another heart has reached out to the guy who has traumatic brain damage and is like, okay, dude, you're really not going to make it out of this because you are
Okay.
fading fast. You're probably going to die. I'm a pretty nice guy. I'm just going to let you connect to me. I don't like that you're dying.
All right.
This
A good act keeps this person alive. And
Okay.
that heart is Sora. It is Sora's heart that was formed.
So
That is
Sora's
why
heart was formed
So-
by someone looking at the traumatic brain damage kid and saying, "Don't die."
No, Sora's heart is the one that connected to it.
That
That is basically keeping the kid on life support.
Ventus is
Okay.
in a coma
okay.
in a castle somewhere. His brain effectively is being stored in stasis inside this, at the time, 6-year-old child. And
Oh,
just,
this
like,
part
was
is
in
getting hard.
stasis
This part is
inside-
getting hard to me. Who? So does brain damage kid just show up to a 6-year-old child who is Sora?
It's just a little
No.
ball of light. It's just a
Oh,
little ball
yeah.
of light.
So,
Everyone's heart has a physical space of their own. So don't worry about it.
Okay, no, but
It's okay.
Okay.
Take a breath.
So brain damaged child meets a ball of light,
Ventus.
and it's nice to him.
No.
And,
Drock here. Let me paint the scene to you. Brain damaged kid is in his own brain as it is eroding.
Okay,
His
he's in his
consciousness
brain.
is watching himself die. The ball of light reaches out to his dying brain. This is not happening in physical space. This is like a spiritual connection, coming to God.
In a spiritual space, he meets the ball of light.
Yes.
Okay.
And the ball of light goes, "You're fucked up, dude. I'm going to keep you on life support. We're going to share this burden together." It's not a physical thing that is happening. It's a spiritual thing.
And the ball of light is the spiritual representation of Sora, and that's why Sora looks like brain damaged kid.
Yeah, brain damaged kid evil.
Okay.
Yep.
Because they are all connected, because all people are connected. Not in a physical sense.
Fact, Sora, it means gravel and Finnish. Weird coincidence, because understanding Kingdom Hearts feels like eating gravel. Okay, I'm sorry, are you telling me that Sora is God, or the weed was really kicking in on this kid?
So
no.
He's not God, he's just a ball of light in a spiritual plane who meets brain damage kid.
Sora means sky in Japanese, and they just really want to hit it home that the sky connects all people. And so Sora is the literal embodiment of like universal connection and friendship.
It's good and evil. It's a really simple story. Sora is there to show you, oh, making friends is good. He makes friends with all of the Disney guys.
Yeah.
That's it. Makes friends with Donald and Goofy. Ventus is also a connector.
Brain damage, evil brain damage kid.
Good brain damage.
Good brain damage kid is Ventus. What's the evil one's name?
Vanitas.
Vanitas. God, that name sucks ass.
It does, which is why we're all happy when he gets chucked into the Monsters Inc. door.
Okay.
The name sucks. The idea was meant to like base it off of like vanity, all is vanity.
All right.
Because he is very self-obsessed.
Okay, so we have brain damage kid, forms a bond with Sora. Now we're going to Ventus, who is the good brain damage kid. Vanitas is bad brain damage kid.
Yes.
Power of Waking will be on here, yeah. It's Latin.
It will definitely be on here. We're not there yet, chat. Stop trying to turn him against me. We're in Birth by Sleep. Xehanort fucked this kid up so badly that he goes to his friend who doesn't realize he's evil, who is Luke Skywalker, and he just goes, okay, I'm gonna leave this kid with you until he recovers from traumatic brain damage. And Luke Skywalker goes, how do you get traumatic brain damage? And Xehanort just goes, don't worry about it.
So he shows up to a Master Keyblade guy's house and says, take this brain damaged child.
Yes.
Okay.
Master Yen Sid.
No, that's a different one.
By the way, Master Yen Sid and Ericus, they're also dumb names. Their names are literally Disney and Square backwards.
I mean, those are the types of dumb names that I think are great, though. That's just funny.
And he's Luke Skywalker, so just like how Xehanort is an evil centrist, this guy's like, okay, but we're gonna do good at all costs. So he's like, okay, this kid has brain damage. I have 2 apprentices. At least he'll have some kids around his own age to talk to. And those people are the third hottest Aqua.
And
Problem Child. We call him Problem Child.
Big guy. The big brown hair guy.
He deserves a little more credit than that. We can call him Kingdom Hearts Ken. It's fine.
So this is where we're in Birth by Sleep. Basically, you know how Xehanort did fucked up experiments now and gave people brain damage? That brain damage, the evil one, is spawning small evils. You know, because magic.
Okay, someone's pointing out that Terra is, apparently we have the third hottest Aqua and the second hottest Anakin Skywalker.
Yes, that is entirely accurate. Terra is Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, no, Tetsuya Nomura was very much inspired by Star Wars for Birth by Sleep.
Yeah.
Understood.
What we're going through here is we find out Xehanort's been doing some other experiments. He's possessed a guy. So now there are 2 people who have Xehanort's will just kind of being puppeted around. That's a problem.
Wait. Who are the 2 people? Refresh me real quick.
There's Xehanort, and then Xehanort has possessed another guy like a ghost.
Okay.
And that guy's name is Braig.
Okay. Will I need to remember this name?
Kind of. He gets a new name.
Okay.
He gets a new name, and that's more important.
Oh,
so
shit.
Does he?
All you need to know is that this guy barely matters right now.
Okay.
Actually, we're not talking about the secret ending of Kingdom Hearts 3 until the very
No, we are
end.
not.
I think you guys shouldn't say possessing for referring to what Xehanort is doing. A more apt description is Voldemort's Horcruxes.
Okay, so
Yeah,
he's
he's
Horcruxing
Horcruxing.
people. Hello.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah,
we haven't
to
introduced
extend his
everyone. This
own
is
life.
King, who just joined. Axie was who joined second. And Biggie's who's been here from the start.
Yeah.
I'm here to defend Kingdom Hearts.
The reason why we say possessing is because specifically with, I think it's 2 of the characters, it's like more direct possession, but those are the ones that were in more
Yeah.
immediate contact with him. So
Well,
There's
specifically right now.
There are more Horcruxes. There are
Okay.
more Horcruxes than everyone else.
Yeah, he starts with Horcruxes, moves on to full possession later, like how Voldemort does like Quirrell in the first Harry Potter book, and then he
Okay.
goes
Yeah.
back to just Horcruxing.
Okay.
Horcruxing turns
it's-
out to be a better way to do this.
he's
Yeah,
a
it's
cost-effective
better-
centrist.
Yeah, I feel it's like
no,
better
he's a
to.
centrist, which means he's also a libertarian. So
No,
that's where we are
no.
right now.
Oh no.
I told you, he's every bad, stupid thing. That's why he has to go down. So we're in the beginning of Birth by Sleep, and this kid with traumatic brain damage has mostly recovered. He's feeling better. He's made friends. One of his friends is named Terra. He's Anakin Skywalker.
Uh-huh.
He's really desperate to prove himself. And the other one has a brain.
Okay.
Correct.
She's one of the only people in this series that has a brain.
You know how in a lot of series, like, there's the Goku who doesn't think everything through?
Oh, Nortcrux is very funny. Yes.
We have a lot of Gokus in this series. Aqua's one of the few not Gokus.
She's
Okay.
one of the few Bulmas.
He's
Yeah.
kind of a Piccolo.
But the whole point of this is to say that
Uh-huh.
eventually they're training to become Keyblade masters. And it's like being a big damn hero. And they're all so excited. And today is Aqua and Terra's Mark of Mastery exam. It's a chance for them to prove they deserve to be called a master.
And that's when they learn how to make spacesuits and motorcycles out of their magical sword.
No, that's the
No, that
cell
was in
toys.
class
Don't worry about it.
beforehand.
Okay.
That's like
I
the
thought
first
that
thing
was
you
this.
learn.
That's a different thing? What? That's the first thing they... Okay.
Don't
All
worry,
right.
it's not important. It's there to sell toys.
Oh no! Okay.
Bizarrely, they didn't sell toys of that stuff, though.
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker's like, I can't do this by myself. I'll be partial to them. I can't be an impartial judge. So he invites the only other master he can get to come.
The evil centrist who
Xehanort.
mind controls people, yeah.
Yes. Because these guys were raised together as kids, and he's like, if he was evil, I think I would have noticed it.
I'm pretty sure that he's actually chill, guys.
Ignore how he's obviously evil. So during the
Oh, he's
Mark of
wiggling
Mastery,
his fingers as darkness surrounds the light orbs.
The world
test
is
is-
in need of a reordering. See how nice he is?
it's like that guy from Pokemon X and Y.
I was about to
This
say,
world
he's
is
just like
imperfect.
Lysander from Pokemon X and Y.
Yeah.
So
Hey
during the
children,
Mark of
I would like to
Mastery
introduce
exam-
you to my good friend. He is a great man. And meet him. The world is in need of restructuring. Don't you think this is a cruel reality which begs for
Yes.
a new
Yes.
order? Hey, Professor? I
Yeah.
don't think this guy's allowed near children.
So, at a certain point, Terra has performance anxiety, which makes him scared, which is a type of darkness.
Oh,
And
no.
Xehanort goes, ooh, I like that. So he
Oh,
uses
boy.
darkness
Xehanort.
wiggle finger magic, and he makes that darkness act up in Terra. And so they continue to go through their exams, and Xehanort does some weird shit. Doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. And
Okay.
at the end of the exam, Ericus is like, Aqua, you did awesome. I'm really proud of you. Terra, you got too much darkness in your soul, my man. You can't let darkness come out. Because since we're good, we should oppress all of the darkness we have in us as far down as it will go.
We are not allowing any negativity here. So, like,
Real
if,
Jedi shit.
If Xehanort is just like every bad, stupid thing, Ericus is like every toxic positivity thing.
Ericus
Yeah.
is like abstinence's key sex ed, but for darkness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So Terra, who's already suffering from performance anxiety, is like, so I know, but you'll let me be a master, right? No.
You have to try again next time, bucko.
Next year, bud.
Sorry,
So
you
we're-
experience negative feelings, and that's kind of not allowed at my retreat.
For like a split second, Terra, when sparring with Aqua, worried that he wasn't going to be good enough in it.
Yeah,
and for a
performance
second,
anxiety.
channel darkness on his own. He
Oh,
stopped it.
damn.
He did channel it.
Yeah, he
So
did
that's
channel it.
enough to fail him.
That's why Ericus is like, I know you have trauma and worry and mental illness. Push it all the way down. That's how I did
Don't
it.
think about it.
Well-
Just don't have bad feelings.
That's basically what kickstarts Terra on this journey where he constantly feels like he is not good enough. And remember how the dark traumatic brain injury guy, Vanitas, is spawning evil things from his body now?
Yes, I think so. I think I remember this being said.
He's letting these loose on the worlds because he's running out of space and he just really doesn't want to have to deal with all of those things in his garage right now. One of Darkness's powers is the ability to open up portals, so he just opens portals to God knows where and sends them through. And they're causing problems, and Xehanort's like, Ericus, have you heard about these weird, dark, evil little gremlin things that are attacking people? I have nothing to do with it, but perhaps this emotionally impressionable young man can go out and start to fight all of these evils by himself, unsupervised. And Ericus, in his one moment of clarity in the entire series, goes, no, I think I should send Aqua after him. He should not be on his own right now.
You know, good to have a moment of being slightly intelligent.
The journey is basically Terra going around fighting all of these evils, and he's an idiot. He's trying his best, but he's stupid. Maleficent tells him, oh no, there are all of these evil things on the path to the princess who I have nothing to do with. Perhaps you could clear this path for me, my friend.
Okay.
Terra's entire plotline is being manipulated by every single villain in every early Disney movie.
So it's just him showing up and early Disney villains being like, hey, bud, you know what's cool? Drugs.
That's basically it. At one point, he meets Peter Pan and is like, you must be the villain. And Captain Hook's just standing there like, yes. That is an evil man.
He's the bad guy. You should, deal with him. No, kill all the kids too if you get the chance.
Terra's a himbo. We acknowledge this.
So while he's getting all of these additional forms of trauma lumped onto him, Ventus, who is told by Vanitas that your friend is going to turn evil, when he chops into his room for like 10 seconds, goes, I'm going to go show that Terra isn't being turned evil. So he leaves, and as he does, he gets a chance to see all of the bad things that happen because Terra shows up. It's like, Terra's not turning evil, is he? No, he's my friend. I'm worried about him. And Aqua, who has to hear something from Master Ericus, which is important for later, eventually follows in and she cleans up everybody's messes.
She's the adult in the room. Also, Ericus decides to murder a child.
We'll get to that.
Wait, what? What?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, later.
At a certain point, we end up in a place called Radiant Garden. And we learn about this guy who's studying the elemental forces of darkness and evil called Ansem.
Okay.
This is not the Ansem from Kingdom Hearts 1.
It's the blonde one.
I don't think they bring him up in Birth by Sleep, though.
No,
they bring up that there is a scientist there.
I will say, I am being very, very charitable, and I am letting them tell the story in any order they want, not caring about what game we're at, because I think if you're forced to go in game order, there is no way I am going to understand what's happening.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
We started with Union Cross.
I am being as charitable as possible.
So we learn about this guy, and he has a bunch of people who are working with him, and they're all studying darkness. And that's where we meet the guy Xehanort has possessed. And he shows up with a crossbow, and he's like, Terra, there's evil going on. I have kidnapped this Keyblade master. And he holds up Master Xehanort like he is a lost, sad cat. And Terra, in all of his worldly wisdom, goes, I can't let you kidnap an old man, because he doesn't get that this is a setup yet. And as he fights this guy, all of the evil he's been interacting with that has wormed its way into his soul starts acting up, and he cuts out one of Braig's eyes.
So the guy who's been lightly Norded has his eye carved out by our not-so-great himbo.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, no, I did something really awful. And Xehanort's like, you did the right thing. And pats him on the shoulder. And this is the first validation he's gotten from a parental figure in the entirety of the game.
Because he sometimes has negative feelings.
Okay.
Xehanort's been like fully nice to Terra throughout the game also. Like he gives him a pep talk after the test fails.
Wait, are you saying he might be some sort of Palpatine?
Are you saying he might be grooming this young child?
So the evil dark wizard who thinks that we should embrace the darkness as well as the light, as opposed to the guy who says, in my council of warriors with a special sword and magic powers, we have no negative emotions, is giving approval to the kid with great potential as a warrior, but who failed the exam because of his spiritual shortcomings?
Yes.
So we could have skipped through a lot of this to just say that this is literally episode 3 of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Except
traumatic
that there's a
injury
brain
comes up
damaged child
later.
off on the sides waiting to come in.
Yeah.
It's episode 3, but rather than a superiority complex,
It's
Terra
an
has an inferiority complex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
All right.
important because eventually Terra goes back to the world. Well, Ventus goes back to the world first to be like, hey, Master Ericus, something's really wrong with Terra. And Master Ericus has his second moment of clarity where he goes, hold up a second. There's a thing made of pure evil out there that this child is telling me about. And this kid came in here with brain damage that is associated with traumatic brain injury. And a traumatic brain injury is spawning all of these evil gremlins. I get it now.
He figures it out?
So figures it out.
Oh,
and he's
good
like,
for him.
God damn it, Xehanort. Now I have to kill this child.
Oh, so wait, so he's gonna kill the brain damaged child made of pure good?
Hoping that by killing one of them, it would kill the other one.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
okay.
it's more that
Oh boy.
it's more that pure light and pure darkness are not supposed to exist in the universe in the way that Xehanort artificially made it happen. And Ericus knows that those two beings coming into contact and clashing will basically destabilize things, cause a lot of bad things to happen.
Oh,
He's
boy,
basically
okay.
like, I can't find the other guy. I gotta kill this guy.
I'm sorry, kid, but I gotta do it to him. And this is when Terra shows up. So Terra, in all of his worldly wisdom, starts to talk to Ericus. And Ericus is like, no, we can't talk right now. Xehanort could show up at any second. And he's like, but Xehanort's a good guy. So they start to fight. And he manages to beat his master, proving that he has grown very much during the journey. And then Xehanort kills Ericus.
So he shows up and kills our wise Jedi Master. Well, the wise is a strong word, actually. Kills our powerful Jedi Master.
Yes. So across these journeys, Terra, in his own moment of absolute wonderful clarity, stopped at this group of islands and was like, okay, a lot of bad things are happening, and the world will always need another Keyblade warrior. So if I die, I'm going to talk to this child who seems to be incredibly competent, child prodigy levels of skill, and I'm going to make it so that my Keyblade will go to him next.
This is what is called the bequeathing, and it's basically the reason why we have multiple Keyblade wielders running around when initially...
There should only be one.
Yeah.
Wait, does Terra have the special one, or does he just have a normal one?
Everyone's got a normal one right now. No one's seen the Keyblade in ever. That's going to change. So what happens... Terra accidentally gets Ericus killed, and then he finally goes, oh, Xehanort was evil.
Okay, glad he caught up.
And then all three of these kids go to the Keyblade graveyard to resolve their own fights. Aqua's there for emotional support and to make sure these two children do not fuck everything up.
Wait, are you telling me there's a female character in this anime thing that has incredible amounts of skill and yet is mostly just there to support other people?
Yes, until the very end of this game.
Unheard of. Never happened before. Never before has this been done.
I told you, it's a battle shonen anime.
Yeah.
So what happens is Terra fights Xehanort, where Xehanort goes, I have been tricking you into having enough evil in your heart so that you reveal your weaknesses and I can Horcrux you. And he Horcruxes Terra.
No.
Who could have seen this happen?
On possession.
The thing that he does all the time?
He does it more frequently as we get through the timeline.
I mean, however, we've seen in the future, and
though.
there's a whole room of dudes who's done it too. So
yeah. So one thing that happens as a result of that, though, is Terra gets so angry at Xehanort and himself that his soul possesses his armor and proceeds to beat the shit out of his body, enough to give him brain damage.
Wait.
Magic damage.
Wait,
Physical
I just need to
brain
stop.
damage.
I've been following with you. I'm going to say this is objectively wild ass writing. This is an insane choice to be like, how do we resolve this moment? He gets so mad that his soul splits off of his body and possesses his own armor to beat him up is an insane way to solve a problem. And I just need this to be noted.
Oh, yeah, no. Basically, he just got so angry that he dissociated.
All right, as long as this has been acknowledged, we can move on.
We acknowledge it. There is wild shit here. Not all of it is as wild as everyone sees. You're following up with us until now. This is further than most people get.
I am doing my very best. I'm giving it everything, and I'll say I am enjoying the journey more than expected.
while this is happening, Ventus and Vanitas, good trauma and bad trauma, end up meeting, and it's revealed that the Keyblade is made up of equal parts of good and evil. So the longer they clash, the more likely it is.
Wait, guys, I need to say something incredibly hilarious, and we can go back to this. Twitch tried to block someone talking about Organization 13 because they shortened it as Org 13, and Twitch chat recognizes eyes, or ones as eyes and threes as e's. So it was like, hey, someone's trying to talk about orgies in your chat.
That is just objectively hilarious. Thank you, whoever was doing that. Holy shit. Okay, my soul is...
You know, Xehanort's orgy.
He runs the orgy club.
He does fuck a lot of people.
Wait, Xehanort fucks?
No.
Metaphorically speaking.
Boring.
He fucks people over, but he has no bitches. Not a single
He has no
bitch.
riz.
Not a single bitches?
Not a single bitches.
Hold on.
What?
Ericus.
Okay.
He has one bitch, but that bitch is already dead.
And he killed her.
already killed that bitch.
Damn.
So,
He opened up his options.
So as Ventus and Vanitas clash,
Where does the Keyblade come from?
It is basically the magical MacGuffin. It
Okay.
doesn't. You know how magical light just kind of exists as a force?
Yeah.
The Keyblade exists as a law of reality.
So were the Keyblades that are not the Keyblade made as imitations of it?
Yes.
Okay,
exactly.
that makes some level of sense then. Because
So-
if they just happen to make a bunch of magic keys and it turns out the thing holding reality together as a force was also was like a better magic key, that would be a lot dumber.
It would be. So what happens is...
I can't wait
And
to
it's
see how Mickey fucking Mouse fits into all of this, Narwhal says.
Mickey Mouse has
He's
already
there.
shown up. He's just not important yet.
Oh, okay.
You should
We
watch
skipped over him just being
he was a
present.
Padawan.
Mickey Mouse is Ventus's friend.
Wait, he was
He's
a
a
Padawan.
He was a Padawan with Ventus, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was a Padawan along with
Yeah.
Brain Damage Kid. Him and Brain Damage Kid hung out at school.
He has a different teacher, but yes.
They got lunch together.
Yeah, that is almost verbatim what happens.
They were in a student exchange program.
But Aqua
Why
sees
is that
the
so
world
funny?
Because Kingdom Hearts is hilarious, my guy.
Oh,
We have
God,
an entire Star Wars knockoff.
I am not going to come around. I can tell you already. I am not going to come around to, like, this is actually unironically good. What I will say is, I think I am coming around to, this is ironically great.
I'll take it.
Like, in
Yes.
a, this is so dumb it's incredible. There's a lot of charm here, I'm finding.
I think some of the specific character stories can actually get you really interested.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
some surprisingly deep and well-written moments in the mess of how
Yeah.
big the rest is.
A great example of this will come up later in 358 over 2 days.
Oh my
Fuck
God.
yeah, it
That's
is.
the worst name in the history of video games.
Anyways,
Oh, boy.
Aqua sees the world unraveling because Ventus and Vanitas have clashed and become fused together again. Their fused form has a Keyblade. It's incomplete. They don't have enough power to make it, but they're
Okay.
stabilizing what they have. So inside of his soul, Ventus is like, okay, this is very bad for reality. I'm going to destroy my soul real quick. And as he destroys his soul, Aqua kicks the shit out of him in real life. And
With Mickey
as a
Mouse.
result-
So
Yes,
Mickey Mouse
Mickey
helps
Mouse is
kick the
helping
shit out
here.
of him.
Yes, Mickey Mouse is helping here.
Okay.
And Aqua has become the linchpin character of this entire game at this point. What happens is Aqua takes this boy who now has double traumatic brain damage.
And
And
is
it's like,
two people
okay.
slapping together.
Well, now he's 3.
Wait, what? How'd that happen?
Because Vanitas and Ventus clashed together,
Uh-huh.
and Sora was still holding on.
Sora was still holding
Sora-
on to good brain damaged boy's soul.
Yes.
Yes. So Ventus now has a connection to Sora and a connection to Vanitas.
Well, I mean, I imagine he already had a connection to the one that he is half of. I don't
Yes.
love that I'm starting to understand parts of this.
So remember how Aqua couldn't follow them because Master Ericus had to tell her something?
Uh-huh.
That thing was how to turn their house into a fucking armed defense grid.
Oh, I do love when that happens in media, when the house turn into combat.
She puts him in the center room
Okay.
and activates the house's combat mode in order to keep Xehanort from ever finding him. And the way
Alright.
the house defends itself, it rips your memories from your brain. You cannot get far in without forgetting why you're there. The only one immune to this effect is Aqua, because she's the one who turned on the security system.
Okay, if you turn on the security system, you are immune to its weirdness.
Yes.
I thought she turned it off when she
Oh, wow.
went back in.
For whatever intents and purposes, she can be the one in there. She can fix this.
All right.
Okay.
Remember, I'm drastically oversimplifying so that Drock asks less questions. Aqua decides to go out, and her whole thing is like, okay, Terra's still possessed, and Xehanort's still inside of him, and he has actual brain damage. He is a significant threat, and I can't let him wander around while he's leaking dark magic like this.
This is our Anakin who's leaking.
Yeah, Anakin is leaking.
Anakin's leaking, and the third hottest Aqua has to stop him.
And she kicks his ass.
Okay, good for her.
And his last thing that he does is he tries to drop them both into the dark world, but he loses his Keyblade, so he can't get out of the realm of evil.
Okay, whatever. There's a realm of evil, of course.
Remember,
hell.
there's primordial light and there's
primordial light
darkness.
and good. Of course, they have a world. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
It's
So-
primordial chaos, it's hell, it's whatever, like,
Yeah.
bad place you don't want to be in.
So Aqua is like, okay, he doesn't have the armor to go fly out of here, but I do, and I've dealt enough damage that everything should be fine. So she takes her Keyblade, gives it to this unconscious form of her friend that she just beat the shit out, and sends him back to Radiant Garden. And she falls into hell for the next
10 years.
almost the entirety of the series.
Okay.
10 years for everyone else, infinitely longer for her.
Time
Timeless
doesn't
void.
work the same. You know,
I mean,
like how
yeah,
lets
you know, you're in
experience eternal torment.
Look, you tell me this is primordial chaos, and I'm like, cool. We're by Warhammer rules now, and anything can happen in there.
He has enough brain damage that he's no longer an immediate threat, but he will become a threat later.
No. Okay. I
He
love
will
that
become a
part of.
separate threat.
I love that part of the measuring the lore of Kingdom Hearts is the right amount of brain damage.
So
Oh
he
boy.
goes to Radiant Garden. Remember how we talked about that scientist who's studying light and dark?
Ansem the Wise.
Yes, he's not very wise.
He finds this amnesiac lying on his doorstep and just like, wow, you'd make a great test subject and or assistant.
Oh boy.
Ansem
And
the Wise does not think things through.
this is the second time now that Xehanort has convinced an old man to take on a brain damaged child as an apprentice.
That is correct.
This
Yes.
time it's him.
It's correct.
He has added elder abuse to his list of crimes.
Oh my god.
I love this.
Look,
You see why we're having so much fun, because this lore is so... It's such a well-told, crazy story.
It's so
well
earnest.
told is
You have
something
to
I feel like
respect
I
its
can't.
earnest.
I do respect the earnesty. Well told is not something I'm willing to give this yet, but I will say this is funny, and I do
It
like
is
funny.
great. So we're at the point where Ansem discovers another quirk of the universe.
Uh-huh.
Just like how there's Keyblades, well, the Keyblade, when you smash two good and evil together, you can take a person's heart out of their body, and that heart will manifest a form around itself.
In Kingdom Hearts, heart does not mean a muscular organ that pumps
It's not
blood.
the organ, it's your soul.
But isn't soul also
It's
a
not
thing
your
in Kingdom
soul,
Hearts?
it's your emotions.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes,
your
because soul
emotional
is also
soul.
a thing.
There's
So
your-
the spiritual center of your emotionality.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of the
Yes,
concept
exactly.
of how you feel.
If we want to like make the distinction a little bit more helpful, heart is the functional soul, as in like your emotional
Proper way to describe the story is
personality
goofy.
center, and then spirit is the soul that is just like that is what exists after you die.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
one.
Ansem learns that you can separate a heart from a body, and
Alright.
this will not kill you, not in a way that matters. So when you
Uh-huh.
remove a heart from a person, which can be done by any Keyblade, because they
Uh-huh.
were made as imitations of, you know, the
The
Keyblade.
special boy, yeah.
Which
Yeah.
controls Kingdom Hearts.
As you've learned, Ansem the Wise is not a smart man.
No,
As he removes a heart from a person, and a form coalesces around the heart, and the body can still move, he's like,
uh-huh.
that's a Heartless, that's a Nobody, and he did it with
Oh
his
my
eyes
god!
closed.
Wait, the names are backwards because of this fucker?
Yep.
Yes.
This guy sitting in his laboratory is why the ones without a heart are called Heartless and the ones without a body are called Nobodies?
No, the body
No,
is
Sorry,
called
the
a
ones,
nobody,
the reverse,
heart
reverse.
is
I
called
said
a
it
heart.
reverse because it makes sense. The ones
Yes.
without a heart are
Yes,
called
I
Nobodies.
know.
The ones without a body are called Heartless.
Yes.
This fucking bastard. At least if it's gonna be this
We
dumb,
hate
they've
him.
pinned it
We
on
hate
someone
him
in the
for-
lore.
How do I describe this? He's like the scientist eugenicist that decides what species have rights under his
He is
labeling.
racist, though.
So I want to say
I'm not wrong.
Ollie Ollie has the best comment ever. Going to get my heart surgery. My surgeon looks kind of weird though. Wish me luck. Heading into Ansem's lab, be like.
He's got a few belts on his face.
I forgot
said-
that part. That's the most Nomura shit possible.
He says that it'll be fine because then nobody can't feel anything.
Oh
And he's-
no.
Here's the thing that we learn about nobodies. The
Timo.
heart will not form a body, but a body will eventually grow a new heart. As experiences happen, you start to feel emotions again. It'll grow a heart of its own accord. No one knows this yet.
So the nobodies think they ain't got hearts, but they just grow them back. But the heartless do not grow back a body. They're still just a corrupt heart walking around doing its thing.
And you can destroy them. You can kill a nobody and you can kill a heartless. And if you kill the nobody and heartless that made up one person, they kind of just fly towards each other like Patara earrings. And they become that person again.
If you kill them very far apart, do they dissipate?
They'll just respawn somewhere. They have like a TV static going on. They just kind of like, they have to phase back into reality as their atoms get put back together.
All right.
Yeah.
So Xehanort discovered that the heart grow back.
He discovers the heart grows back, and he discovers, oh, but if I split myself into two, a heartless and a nobody, I can do double the centrist planning.
well, he does think it's evil, but it's evil because he thinks there needs to be evil for things to be okay.
Yes, he does this because he remembers he has a Keyblade, he can do this, and he looks around at all of the people he's met in Ansem the Scientist's castle, and is like, but what if I did it to them too?
Far more employees.
Exactly. He goes around and he starts ripping hearts out of people. He is now two people. Ansem is his heartless, Xemnas is his nobody, and they both start doing their own
Wait. So Ansem isn't Ansem. He just stole the name Ansem from Ansem.
Correct.
Yes.
So that way
because he still has a little bit of brain damage.
Which person has the brain damage? Xehanort?
Yes.
Xehanort, heavy brain damage.
When did Xehanort get brain damage?
Remember Aqua?
Yeah, okay. I thought Aqua beat up Terra, but was Xehanort...
Because Xehanort's in Terra's body.
Oh, okay. Xehanort's fully in Terra's body. He was real possession.
Like big functionally possessing.
Yeah. Okay, everyone, free AZ. Everyone has brain damage in this series, especially the writers.
It is primarily Terra and Xehanort who have the most brain damage. We all knew Xehanort had brain damage. He's a centrist.
Yeah.
They both start to do their own evil plans, and on an unrelated island. Do you remember the kid who got the bequeathing thing? Where Terra's like, if I die, you get my Keyblade next.
Is this Sora or is this Ricky?
This is Riku.
Okay, Ricky's got the magic sword now.
So, as bad things happen, Disney villains also make bad things happen.
Okay.
And Maleficent, who met up with Terra and learned of different worlds, has learned to use the power of evil to teleport again. So she's going around creating an army of evil, and she overruns Ansem the Wise's old pub. Radiant Garden has been destroyed, and everyone who used to be there has now been spread across all these different places. And we're finally at Kingdom Hearts 1.
I'm with you. We're back to the one that I know. We have the kid on the island. He's friends with the Final Fantasy X cast. He hangs out. He finds coconuts. He makes a raft. Big giant shadow monster shows up. There's a door on the island. His friend is better than him at fighting, but if you're really good at counterattacks, you can beat him, but most of the children who played the game would not have been.
Yes. Remember how Riku is like, I am going to walk into this very obviously evil portal.
Yeah, he walks in the evil portal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the reason he doesn't get the Keyblade. Sora gets his Keyblade.
The Keyblade was for Riku, but Sora, whose soul is bonded with Brain Damaged Child, so he looks like Brain Damaged Child's evil half, gets the Keyblade that was bequeathed by Anakin Skywalker while leaking to Ricky, who walks through a magic dark portal.
It was before he leaked. This is still a good Keyblade that Riku is supposed to get, and Riku is like, but what if I'm an edgy teenager? And the Keyblade's like, I don't want to deal with all this mess. And he goes to the guy who has a semblance of a sense of empathy. And Riku is like, I'm gonna go travel all these different worlds. And Sora goes around and he's like, oh no, I lost both of my friends. And my mother's waiting on me for dinner, but that's not important. He goes on his little Disney adventure to try to find Riku, and you know what happens.
He meets a duck and a dog. The duck and the dog make a ship out of candy that they fly through the cosmos with, and he goes and solves Disney-themed puzzles.
Yes, Disney-themed puzzles on all of the different worlds. He learns the power of friendship.
As all of this is happening, the stars are blinking out. Maleficent's making an army of evil, and she and Ansem are just kind of destroying everything. Ansem has stopped because Ansem is somewhere else. We'll get to where he is. As all this is happening, Sora's fighting, and he's trying to tell Riku, stop being an edgy bastard. Nobody likes it.
This is annoying.
Kyrie's sitting there because she is a 2002 era Battle Shonen protagonist female lead character. So she
she's
gets
in a
to
coma.
literally... she's a coma, and she gets
sometimes
to
in a coma. She sometimes stands
nearby.
nearby.
Yeah, that's literally what she does.
Sometimes she picks up a sword and is like, I might do stuff.
No, that's a later game.
All right. So we've done our Disney adventure.
We get to Hollow Bastion.
Hollow Bastion, which is the
Radiant
world
Garden where
Yeah,
Ansem the Wise used to be.
Okay.
You're doing great, buddy.
You're doing great. I appreciate it. So what happens is they're going in, Sora's fighting, and he eventually meets Riku. Riku takes the Keyblade back by brute force, and he has to go on a journey with Beast to uncover his self-confidence again.
Yeah,
so he
and he just has a fake sword now, and the dog and the duck they have to protect the Keyblade wielder, so they're going with the edgy boy. Everything's sad for our favorite guy.
He's in his darkest hour moment. It's
yeah, very normal.
If we started here, I don't think I stood a chance.
No, most people don't. Because you're supposed to play the games in order, and they release the info drip feed to you.
Yeah.
Which does not help you understand things. It's supposed to make you excited for the next game.
Yeah.
They also, put all of the drip feeded, important tiny details, just, one detail each in all of the side console games. So...
but... Sora also fights Riku, and he beats up Riku, and Riku reveals, I am actually Ansem. I have possessed this child. You know, Xehanort's favorite trick.
Okay, so Xehanort is Ansem, who isn't Ansem, but is Ansem because he took Ansem's name because he was hanging out with Ansem. When he possessed a child who was brain damaged. And he still has brain damage.
Yes.
Everyone will have brain damage until we specify.
Everyone has brain damage until we specify otherwise.
Yes, exactly.
I'd also like to note... Both Maleficent and Xehanort Ansem have been grooming Riku the entire game.
That is also
independently of one another.
Independently
of one
separate.
another.
Independently, but to the same end.
So this child was chosen by leaking Anakin and also has been groomed by two separate evil masterminds.
Yeah, Anakin was just like, wow, you look like you're going to be totally competent and not manipulated by two adults in your life.
I see a lot of myself in you.
Isn't that a bad thing? You're bleeding dark energy. Yeah, you know what they say, though. What do they say? And then he just dips.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So
what do they say?
Sora sees that his friend Kairi, he's learned Maleficent's plan is to access hell by taking the power of 7 hearts of pure light that occur naturally. These are the 7 princesses of heart.
Wait, so these are the ones, so if you make a being of pure light on purpose with brain damage, it's bad, but sometimes it just happens, sometimes girls are special.
But the princesses cannot clash, so you can't usually use them to make a Keyblade.
Okay.
They don't have enough battle potential. Their level isn't high enough. Xehanort's dead for all intents and purposes. We have Ansem and Xemnas now.
The entire idea that there's only one Keyblade at a time is a total lie. It's just that Sora's is the only one that people have seen in a long time.
Yeah, it's the only one people have access to. Far from the only one. People are just making a big deal out of them because there's not many left.
Yeah. So what happens is Sora is like, okay, she has Kairi's heart, but I should be able to free Kairi's heart if I stab myself.
Why?
At the beginning of the game, when the island was being torn apart, Kairi took refuge inside of Sora the same way that Ventus took refuge inside of Sora when he was sick.
Wait, so
Kairi is a magic princess.
She's a magic princess who hopped into Sora's soul for safety. So
he has to let her out so that she can run away and not be part of this plan.
Sora commits soul seppuku, which frees Kairi, but is also why Sora briefly turns into a little Heartless.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember how we said if you separate, you get a nobody now. That becomes important later.
And Kairi gets to pop on out of there, and she was hiding in the same way Brain Damaged Child did.
Yes.
Brain Damaged Child also gets released at this point.
But we don't know that yet.
We don't know that yet.
So this is probably a retcon that Brain Damaged Child also hopped out right about now.
Yeah. So Sora becomes a Heartless. Kairi makes him a person again.
Kairi kind of explains it.
She's just like, hey, please come back.
It might be the power of waking. We have no confirmation. In the wiki article, it is still just stated as somehow Kairi does this.
She gives the power of love to revive the shonen protagonist. It's fine.
Yeah.
She's Elise from Sonic 06.
Yeah, she is.
Yes, okay.
She has the same hair.
That's a very striking visual, okay? I'm sure it helps.
Red Potato's asking, when does Baymax come into this? Alloy, that's exactly how I'm feeling. It feels like I'm going crazy, but like I'm learning and it's starting to make sense, and it's a weird feeling that this is starting to make sense.
It's very funny. Anyways,
boy.
Sora, now that he's restored to a body, goes to hell to stop Ansem, who went to hell.
Okay, fine. Yep. fine.
It became a
Riku
giant
with him.
demon ship.
Yeah, he took Riku with him. They
Uh-huh.
went to hell, and Sora's like, well, I saved one of my friends. I can probably save the other one.
Okay, so
So
he
he
takes
goes
Ricky
to
to
hell.
hell to fight Xemnas, who's one of the Xehanorts,
Well,
because Xehanort
he
stabbed
goes to-
himself.
Ansem.
He goes to a corpse of a star, basically,
Okay.
which is still on this side. It's not in hell yet.
We're not in
But
hell
he's
yet. He
big-
goes to the corpse of a star with Ricky to fight Xemnas or Ansem. Which one's he fighting?
Ansem.
Ansem, who's not Ansem.
Yes.
Yes.
Xemnas
Okay.
is
So-
in 2. Don't worry about it. We'll get there.
Okay.
So
Seeker of Darkness, Ansem.
Sora shows up and is like, okay, I'm gonna fight Ansem the ship. And now we finally get to Kingdom Hearts TMCR.
What?
Kingdom Hearts is a door. It is a closed, locked door that keeps people from accessing a lot of supernatural power all at once.
Okay,
That's why
so-
you need the Keyblade.
So there's a big
open
real
it.
door opened by the Keyblade, and behind it is the pure, unadulterated essences of good and evil that the universe is built upon, that you tap
Yes.
into lightly with a Keyblade that's a normal one.
The Keyblade, yeah. Well, for all intents and purposes. There are also smaller, naturally occurring Kingdom Heartses. There are 3.
Kingdom Hearts really forms anywhere there's a large collection of hearts.
Okay.
And thus power. There's the first Kingdom Hearts,
Uh-huh.
the one
That's
that
the
is
door.
all of reality,
Uh-huh.
all the power. There is the Kingdom Hearts of People, which is a manufactured Kingdom Hearts that happens when you steal so many hearts, the universe has a conniption and does not understand what is happening.
Okay, so
It-
ooh, it's data overflow.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
a data
yes.
overflow where it's basically just like, fuck, where do we put all these souls? Make it into a
Artificial
heart-shaped
Kingdom
moon.
Hearts is a debug menu caused by a data overflow. There we go.
Yeah.
Now I
There's a
understand it.
Third one, which is what happens when you kill all of these planets, take all of the hearts that were on those planets and the hearts of the planets themselves and shove them into one place. That is the Kingdom Hearts of Worlds. We have found the Kingdom Hearts of Worlds that Ansem has been trying to make.
Okay, so this is a different type of artificial one.
Yes,
Yes.
this is the first
Rather than a
artificial
data
one we
overflow,
find.
this is like someone hacked the system and has programmed in their own Kingdom Hearts.
They did a denial of service attack and just like overwhelmed the system by, killing a bunch.
I don't
Oh
know
my gosh.
programming, but somehow programming analogies are helping me understand this better than
So
anything
you're,
has.
You're pulling the 2000s hacker move, putting on the sunglasses, black trench coat, which is why Ansem is wearing a black trench coat, because
Uh-huh.
he's a 2000s hacker, but for reality.
Oh my god, he's hacking the planet.
Yep.
He's
Yep.
a 2000. He's a hacker. He can't stand light.
So what happens is we learn that Mickey is in hell.
No! Wait, the dog and
Yes.
the duck have been looking for Mickey Mouse this whole time, and he's in hell.
Yes,
Mhm.
he's in
Yeah.
hell. He's been in hell for a while.
He deserves it. It's fine.
Because Ansem's been killing all the worlds and shoving them into the darkness world, hell has its own door to this manufactured Kingdom Hearts. Riku
wouldn't
is
it?
also in hell right now because Ansem just kind of threw him there.
Yeah, why not? You know what you guys have made me realize? As much as I thought Kingdom Hearts 1 was the one that made sense, I think I just went along with it and didn't think about it, and maybe it is actually coming across, and this is insane, as dumber and more arbitrary than Birth by Sleep.
It is.
With one exception. The one exception I'll give is Birth by Sleep's connection to Sora, which is arbitrary because it feels like they did that to make it tie into the other games. This is nonsense. Kingdom Hearts 1 is nonsense.
It's great nonsense, though.
It
Mickey's in
always
hell.
was this.
Riku's in hell, Sora's in not hell, and because there are 2 doors, Mickey, who is also a Keyblade warrior, is like, okay, Sora, Keyblades can lock things, so we're gonna do this fucking Hail Mary, where we
Uh-huh.
try to lock Kingdom Hearts.
Uh-huh.
So-
I'll
they
lock
have
it
to
from
lock-
this side,
Yep.
you lock it from that side, and then we'll be done with this, and this will never happen again.
Yeah, of course. Of course it wouldn't. Yeah.
So Mickey stays in hell and closes this door. Sora closes the door, and all the planets that were knocked out of orbit start to naturally realign because their hearts have been released. Well, some of them do. We'll get to that.
Okay, wait. So all the hearts that were used to do the DDoS attack, they're being sent back now because they
Yeah.
closed the gate.
They might not all like boot back up right away, but they'll eventually get
Yeah.
there.
So because
Mhm.
everything has to reboot and no one knows what the fuck's going on,
Someone wants to know how
Sora-
Mickey got his Keyblade since the last time we saw him he was a Padawan.
he was training under Yen Sid. He ended up finishing his training.
Okay, he just
got a
graduated.
lightsaber
Oh, right, because he had a different teacher, so he was just off
Yeah.
and his program didn't get interrupted by the
Yes.
whole everything collapsing. Got it.
Yeah, so he
Yeah.
just earned it.
He just earned it. He just
So-
did the normal program. Perfect. We're good.
Universe is resetting now. And because the universe is resetting and Sora's in a dead world, the universe doesn't know where the fuck to throw him. So they throw him into a random world. This world will be vaguely familiar. Do you remember how I told you about a castle that drains the memories from people?
No, it's been a while.
Aqua hid Ventus in their old house, and Ericus told her to activate the security system.
So the training security system zone that eats memories. It eats memories now because of the security system that you turned on. Okay.
Yes. We're in Chain of Memories now.
Chain of Memories. So this is the one where it's a tactical card game where you play as
Mechanics
Sora number 4. No,
you play as regular Sora.
Wait, you're right. This one's regular Sora. Oh, fuck.
Yes.
This one's regular Sora. So Chain of Memories can be summarized as really simple.
It's a recap.
Remember how Xemnas still exists, the nobody, who's like, okay, but what if I got Ventus back? He gathers a bunch of the people who he turned into nobodies and is like, I'm going to send you all to this place. I want you all to go find out more about this place. And it's really a guy's because he wants to get his grubby little mitts on Ventus again.
Okay.
So that he can redo the experiment.
He wants to redo
But nobody knows that but him.
So you were saying that he realized all his apprentices were betraying him or something along those lines?
The people that he turned into nobodies is just like, well, if they have their own people, like they're not like the full possession that I usually do. I can't spread my consciousness that thin. So at least some of them are going to get some ideas of betraying me. I'm just going to take the ones that are going to betray me and put them in this castle on this suicide mission functionally and have them arranged to be killed.
So with the hope of them dying, he put a bunch of the people who had pieces of his soul into the castle.
No, they don't have pieces of his soul. They're all empty husks right now.
Oh, sorry, the empty side.
He hasn't done that yet.
You're right. Okay. At this point, he just turned them into nobodies because they were employees at Ansem's house.
Yes.
Best case scenario, they forget completely about themselves and they're easier to manipulate. Worst case, gotta kill them.
And they're trapped in the bad house. Okay, so Sora does his recap episode. He journeys around. He confronts the cloaked weirdos who are watching over him in this memory house.
Yes.
And while this is happening, there's a separate story going on. Riku
this is
wakes
Roxas.
up in the basement.
No, wait, this is Riku. Fuck, you're right. He's in Chain of Memories.
Riku wakes up in the basement, and he has an existential crisis about nearly destroying the universe while Ansem was possessing him. And because he woke up in the basement, he is mostly immune to the effects of the castle. This is the one security flaw.
So the security system fails if you just no clip your way into the house through underground. Because I was gonna say
technically out of bounds.
Oh, okay. That is dumb. At least there's a reason. Because I was going to ask, waking up shouldn't stop it because didn't he have to, get brought in? But if he just, appears in the basement, I guess he was never brought in. Yeah.
So Sora goes on this grand adventure. Remember how Kairi lost her heart?
Yes. And he
gave
hid
it to
out
Sora.
in Sora's heart. Yes.
So Kairi has a nobody.
Okay. And that's Nonmine.
Yes.
That's Nonmine. And because Kairi gave her heart instead of just lost it, she has powers to manipulate Sora.
That feels really contrived, but I'll roll with it.
He's the main character.
Well, every nobody that retains their appearance gains a special power, and because Kairi was so connected to Sora that her power became intrinsically linked to him.
Do you remember how she's an early 2000s shonen main trio?
I remember.
Character?
So, basically, if she's the one that can be I can awaken you from that dark side, she's the one that can do this.
Yeah. So Riku gets to go in an existential crisis. Sora loses all of his memories.
Okay.
Eventually, he kills all of the nobodies except one who were in there. And Xemnas is like, yes, he's finally killed enough of them. He has no memories. He should be very easy to manipulate right now.
Yeah.
Because Nonmine is under my control. Yeah, except she isn't, and Riku steals him.
Wait, what? Where'd Riku come from?
Remember,
Riku came from the basement.
So he came from the basement. He went in on his existential crisis. He got up to the top floor and he just steals. He steals Nonmine?
He steals Sora.
Steals Sora.
Nonmine comes with him willingly. Because she's like, okay, I broke this human being. He has no memories intact anymore. I should fix this.
I've been thinking, Narwhal, about how funny out of context clips of this stream would be. The Keyblade is the crucifix, or Anakin is leaking.
Keyblade graveyard is top men.
Or we add to Xehanort's lists of crimes.
Yeah. This is great. So
there's a lot of great out of context statements.
And also, Riku makes friends with Ansem the Wise, but he doesn't know it's Ansem the Wise.
Okay, and this is the
Ansem
Ansem who is Ansem, not the Ansem who isn't Ansem.
Yes, this is the Ansem who is Ansem. And the Ansem who is Ansem, he has a little chip on his shoulder, from all of his people being killed. He's decided, I'm gonna get revenge.
I'm gonna get revenge, and I'm gonna be racist to nobodies in particular.
Yeah. Yes.
To nobody in particular, that should be no problem at all.
I get it.
Yeah.
Come on, that's a good bit.
Ansem, Namine, and Riku decide, we're gonna try to put Sora back together, but we're missing an X factor. We're missing the MacGuffin that will make him wake up even after we put his memories together.
And now it's Sora number 4?
And now it's Sora number 4.
Ah, he's finally here. The scarest boy of them all.
Sora number 4 and 5.
Ooh.
Yep.
So Roxas is the X factor. Riku's like, okay, he's Sora's nobody. If we grab him and put him in here, we can do this. But before we move on to that, Roxas has been going on his own adventures.
Right, because Sora committed soul seppuku, stabbed himself with a giant key to free Kairi, who's stolen away in his soul. And because of that left him with a nobody, because the nobody is the heart when it has...
It's the
body when it has no heart, because it's backwards. So his body left behind is sitting around, and that, because he got turned back to normal, not the right way. He got turned back to normal the wrong way.
And Xemnas stole Roxas.
Yeah, Xemnas was just like, oh, this little thing
because there was a brain-damaged child going around, so of course he did.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. It gets better. He finds a use for the brain-damaged child. Do you remember how we said if we shove enough hearts into one place, the world enters debug mode? Well, as part of Ansem's thing, he's been releasing a lot of hearts into Heartless.
I am smelling toast right now. It's probably no problem.
And Xemnas goes, okay, Roxas, you can wield the Keyblade because Sora doesn't need it anymore.
Okay.
Sora is unconscious. Someone's doing something with him. I'm trying to find out what the hell is going on with that so I can stop it. But while he's away, you have the Keyblade.
All right.
And Roxas is like, okay, I guess I have the Keyblade now.
And that's how Roxas got his first job.
We get the best game, in my opinion, in Kingdom Hearts.
I have seen a Let's Play of this one, and the storyline actually seems really cool, and I really like the shot of
it is objectively one of the best storylines.
I think this
starts out very simple.
When I watched the Let's Play, someone Let's Play through all of the Kingdom Hearts games, this was the only one where I felt like I cared about the characters at all. I unironically think the scariest boy in the world, Sora number 4, is the best protagonist the series has had.
He is.
He is.
So what was the job? My brain glossed over.
Murder.
His job is to kill Heartless essentially 358 days over 2, the game that this is all happening in. This is Roxas' adventure.
The best game with the worst name, in my opinion.
Best game with the worst name, that is correct. It is essentially about a kid with no direction in life making friends at his first job and realizing what a shitty workplace he is in.
God, that's... See, that's the thing. All of these games should be allegories for relatable experiences like that. What are you going to say, King?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's so wild that Nomura, they were like, hey, we need you to do another Kingdom Hearts side game. And he's like, all right, I'll take this to my advantage to tell a story that's a metaphor for toxic work environments, growing into the workforce, making friends and struggling to keep those bonds and drifting apart. The pain of loss, depression, overworking yourself, comas. You just went crazy, and I love it.
Yeah, flat out. As a story, 358 over 2 days, best one in the series.
It actually seems pretty good. I did watch a Let's Play, and I'm still needing all this refresher because nothing actually sunk in at all. I didn't take in any of it except for this game where I actually cared about the characters. Despite the fact that Axel might be the dumbest fucking most edgy DeviantArt-ass design I've seen.
He is, and we love him for it.
He's as DeviantArt OC as you can be.
I love this story, but it starts out really simple. Roxas got his first job. He has to go around killing Heartless. And eventually, he starts to make friends. And one of the big early scenes, he gets together, he and Axel are sitting down on the watchtower of Twilight Town. And he's like, hey, Axel? Yeah? What's a friend? And Axel, who thinks he doesn't have a soul, looks around and he sees a bunch of friends who are buying ice cream together, and he points to them and is like, friends are people you eat ice cream with.
Simple as.
So Roxas and Axel start eating ice cream together, and it's actually really adorable.
It's genuinely really sweet.
This is Interesting revelation. 358 Days Over 2 was the first Kingdom Hearts game that I played because my mom didn't know they were in order when she got it for me. So
I don't blame her.
And I had a DS at the time, and we didn't have a PlayStation, so that was the first game that I played, and
Got the
it was
best one.
Yeah, and it was to my benefit, unknowingly.
Yep. So eventually, Roxas starts overworking himself and overstressing himself at all the jobs he's being given. Xemnas is like, okay, but I don't want to give this kid any days off. So
this is a game
we
about
have a
unhealthy
mad
work-life
scientist.
balance, and I love that.
So he looks to a scientist and is like, okay, what if we make a new one?
Wait, I love this kid. What if, and hear me out, we had a Sora number 5.
And this is where we get Xion.
Yeah,
I love
girl
her.
Sora.
My favorite.
We stand an
So-
autistic queen.
Xion is basically, you know the old BoJack speech, a Xerox of a Xerox?
Yeah.
Nominee is that, but literally.
Yeah, because she is a weird blank artificial copy of a
She's a doll
fractured
that's been-
broken piece of a boy who was created by soul bonding with a broken piece of a boy. She is so many layers deep on this person shouldn't exist. Why am I starting to enjoy this? No!
Also,
So she's
I
fundamentally
said all that
not
and had
allowed to
fun with
exist.
it.
there's so much going on here with like Xion. You don't have to read very far for her being like autistic, trans, like a woman in the workplace.
There's
Yeah, she is
Quote from the
all
game,
flavors of fucked
Xion
up.
is Xion.
Frankie McShanky, I want to defend myself. Most of this experience, I've best been like, this is so dumb, I have fun. I have only ever watched a Let's Play of 358 over whatever, but it is genuinely pretty charming.
And what's happening is they make a doll, they put Xion in the doll, because Xion is an artificial life form, and Xion starts to be able to wield the Keyblade. So Xemnas is like, okay, that's cool, but they're faking it, because Roxas likes this person. She's his friend. He doesn't want her to get fired from the workplace. When no one's looking, he gives her his Keyblade. So that she can do her job. No one else can wield the Keyblade like that, though. He can't give it to Axel. He can give it to Xion, but she doesn't have her own.
Wonder why. That's weird.
Yeah, it's funny. We'll get to that. But eventually, Roxas starts overworking himself to keep up with this and to keep Xion secret. And it's this really tender thing about like how he passes out. He goes into comas. Xion's overworking. And eventually, Xion starts to take the form of Sora because Nominee has been fucking around in Sora's memories to put everything back together. And Xion eventually meets up with Riku. And Riku's like, holy shit, you're an abomination. And she's like, I am?
Riku does not have a great track record during his blindfold era.
Yeah.
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 She's like, I am? And he's like, okay.
You don't know what
apparently-
you're so many layers deep, man, girl. Like, this isn't okay.
Yeah, you are so many layers deep of what you should not be. You are actively making a man be dead. And she's
okay.
like, I am?
It's funny because, like, the later stuff is just a retcon to make Birth by Sleep fit in very clearly. Like, you can just tell that. But I will say, I didn't understand the story at this point. Now that we've talked through this in order, it kind of makes it even more brutal that, like, even from the beginning, the kid that Sora's a weird replica of was made by fucking brain damage splitting a child in half. It makes it even more fucked up what Xion is, and that's
brain
kind of fun.
damaged children all the way down.
It's just a nesting dolls of brain damaged children.
Eventually, Xion turns into
Another good
Sora
out-of-context
physically.
quote.
Riku's like, okay, you have to stop being, but I can't exactly kill you.
Because you look like my best friend.
I don't want to stab Sora, but I'm not Sora. You don't know that you look like Sora. This is so fucked. And eventually, she comes to the understanding that my existence makes the world worse. She turns to Roxas, and as she's transforming into something even beyond that, something that Sora's adapted memories could never come back from, she passes the Keyblade to Roxas and asks him to kill her. And Roxas is like, I don't want to kill you. You're my best friend.
Also me.
Why are you asking me to do this? And Xion's like, I literally cannot tell you that because Xemnas has eyes everywhere, and I've come to understand that Xemnas is an asshole.
Damn, I just realized, did Nominee trans Xion?
Xion transed herself.
I mean, that is fair. Himself?
So as all this is happening,
God, this is confusing.
As this is happening,
It's a metaphor narrative.
Xion fights Roxas, and Roxas fights Xion, and he eventually kills her. And as she's dying, this poor autistic Roxas kid, he's not fully put together yet. He hasn't grown his whole heart back yet. He's holding her hands as she evaporates into memory particles in front of him. And he says one of my favorite lines in the entire series. But Xion, who will I eat ice cream with?
Who else will be my friend?
It's
Yes.
like, okay, unironically, I want to say I will shit on a lot of Kingdom Hearts stories, but the second we reached this one, I had like a flashback to like doing a D&D commission for someone, drawing their character, let's play sitting on a little charging stand beside me, and reaching this scene and going like, oh my god, because he's asking who will I eat ice cream with because that's what he thinks a friend is, and he doesn't have the emotional capacity to ask who will be my friend now, and like,
It's
unironically, this is
It's
a
a
good
great
story.
scene.
I am not going to give unironic good story to the rest of this, but I will for this.
Yeah,
No,
this is possibly the best.
If all of the dumb Final Fantasy shit in these games were as good as Numbers the game, I think that this series would have some real unironic merit to it instead of I'm finding it really funny. And I want to point out something why. When I was talking about how like the later games that have a lot of retcon even make this better, I think this game also makes the games that come before it feel more meaningful. And I think it is a sign of good franchise writing to be able to make the bad parts of a franchise feel better.
We're gonna
Hello, ratings.
move on though from 358 over 2, and we're gonna get between 2 and 358 and 2. So
Okay.
Roxas has killed his
We're not
best
at 2
friend,
yet. Yeah,
and he is very pissed off.
his best friend who is him.
Yes.
He is incredibly pissed off. So he decides, I'm gonna go kill my boss.
Lore is being generous, that's true. So he goes to kill his boss. His boss is Xemnas?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, I'm remembering which Xehanort's
you're
which.
almost one of us, you understand.
I'm remembering which Xehanort is which.
So Riku shows up because remember, Roxas is the X factor we need to bring Sora back to life.
Yes,
And
yeah.
he's not gonna kill Xemnas.
And Naminé's got him in the bubble, in the flower petal bubble.
Because Roxas is an aspect of Sora, but he's not Sora himself, Riku can beat the shit out of him and kidnap him.
Beat the shit out of another brain damaged child. Got it.
We do this a lot here. So he takes
You
this
give him
brain damaged
amnesia.
child. Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's connected to Sora. Naminé can pluck his memories out too.
And then they put him
More
in
brain
the other bubble to put him through the simulator at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2, and that he
Correct.
just has to get far enough
Yeah.
that his brain gets eaten by Sora.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
His
Ooh.
brain gets eaten by Sora. He's inside of Sora now. Sora wakes up, learns, oh, hey, there's a bunch of these people who I have been told have no hearts or souls.
I also want to say, Geekmaster, the Xehanorts are not really a hive mind, I don't think, yet. There are 2 of them, and they're a separate man, and they're an insurance policy, because if both the men die, the man who stabbed himself to become 2 people comes back, and I don't love that I'm understanding this, but I am.
You are understanding it. Congratulations. So remember how
Ooh.
Roxas was going around killing a bunch
Yes.
of Heartless to free their hearts to make debug Kingdom Hearts?
Yes.
Well, Xemnas is smart enough to go, if I just leave Sora to go around trying to find out where his friend is and make sinister, vague threats that his friend is in danger, he will go as far as he feels is necessary. He'll even be racist towards my subordinates, which should distract them, which is fine for me. So I'm going to leave Sora alone. And it works.
Okay.
Sora goes off on a mad dash to find out where the hell is Riku.
Yeah.
Riku,
Yeah.
who has had to tap into all of the powers of darkness, has had his body changed to what he thinks the most evil thing in the world is. Ansem. Ansem the not Ansem.
Ansem, the one who's not the one. This is the Xehanort who's a Heartless who stole Ansem's
Yes.
name because he needed a name.
Sora goes out and he basically does Organization 13, this group of nobody. He does their plan for them. They kidnap Kairi at one point just as insurance because Xemnas is smart enough to have a backup plan.
They need a hostage.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Get a hostage. Why not?
But Axel, who has had both of his best friends killed, and one of his best friends, who was a human, is no longer his friend he remembers, has decided, I am also going to betray Organization 13. They work together and they open a portal to the Organization 13 world, which is called the world that never was.
And
Because
that's
nobodies
the
are
one with
like-
the chairs, right? The chairs are there?
Yep.
Yes, the chairs are there.
Okay, the chairs are there.
Sora goes around and he's like, okay, I'm going to kill all of these people because they're not actually people, because no one has corrected me on this yet. They're literally golems. They're only pretending. Because his only insight is Ansem the Wise going, oh, they don't have souls.
Yeah.
They're abominations.
And he's the one who's racist to nobody, which is great. You shouldn't be racist to anybody.
No, don't be racist to somebody. Just be racist to nobody. Sora goes around and kicks all their asses, and frankly, there's actually not that much to go over in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Not really.
Yeah, no, we got to skip a lot. That's great. I mean, honestly,
I guess,
most of what's confusing about Kingdom Hearts 2 is that I played it without having played 358, so I had no fucking clue what was happening.
The only thing that I will say that comes up in Kingdom Hearts 2 that is like tugs at the heartstrings a little bit is is right
When
towards
Goofy
the end,
dies.
when Sora's about to face the big bad, time stops. And like he's looking around, Donald Duck is frozen, Goofy's frozen. He's like looking around, he sees this dark cloaked figure. He gets teleported into this alternate like arena, and you get the hardest fight in the game.
Yeah, Roxas is like, okay, I've been sitting back here, and
Wait,
you
Roxas,
kind of suck, Sora.
How did he come back?
He's inside of Sora. They're fighting inside of Sora.
Oh,
Roxas
it's inside
is just
his
basically
brain.
like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna see if you're actually like worthy of taking control of this body, because I have enough of a willpower that I could take control if I wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah, Roxas didn't like die and his essence went back into Sora. It's kind of like a get out situation where he's just
The
crammed
sunken
into the
place.
back of Sora's mind.
Yeah,
He's
Sora
in the
is
sunken place.
Roxas is in the sunken
Yeah.
place. And he's been watching, and he's like, I've watched you do all of this shit, and you're not actually that impressive.
I didn't know
I saw
what
my best
happened,
friend
but he was in
die
the
for
sunken
you.
place. It makes sense now.
Also, like, he's the reason that Sora cries at weird moments.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, are you sure we haven't met before? Positive. Why do you ask? I don't know. And Roxas is crying in the sunken place because none of his friends from the real world remember him.
Yeah,
Okay.
Everything surrounding Roxas is heartbreaking.
But yeah, all that to say that after Sora wins, because you have to win that fight, Roxas is just like, okay, you make a good other.
Sora beats up Xemnas, and he kills Xemnas, and Xemnas is like, but if there's good and evil, isn't nothing a fundamental force? And it's not.
Wait, he just supposed that it would be?
Xemnas is an r/atheist to the most extreme degree.
He's an r/atheist in a world where like an entire society existed trying to exploit the pure essence of good known to exist because there's a magical key that is like the embodiment of reality that accesses it.
But yeah, he beats Xemnas, which, if you remember, when the Heartless and the Nobody are killed,
they come back. Oh, now he's killed them both, so Xehanort gets to be back.
Yep.
And Yensid, who is Mickey's master, is like, okay, we need a new brand of Keyblade masters.
Oh,
so
boy.
I'm gonna
So
send
now it's
you
time
both...
for the power of waking, huh?
Yes.
This is the one that I couldn't get through the Let's Play of. I skipped this one and only watched the Let's Play of 3 because this one sucked.
It's because Yensid lies to you.
It's because Yensid lies to you, and because in this one, Sora gets brain damage again.
Yeah.
How many brain damages deep are we?
I think this is like 4 now.
Do we count Roxas's repaired brain damage?
Do we count Xion and Roxas's because they go into Sora?
Yeah, we do count them.
I don't count autism as brain damage. I count it.
No, I'm talking about when like they get their mind broken and shoved into Sora.
That's another great out of context quote. I don't count autism as brain damage.
Okay.
You can also count Kyrie as one of the Sora brain damages.
We're not going to do that, though. We're also going to skip over Recoded. Recoded does not... It matters, but it doesn't. You don't need to worry about it.
I look like a finished children's book character? That's great. I love that.
So we're going to move on to 3DS, which is Dream Drop Distance.
Yep.
Named, so it would be a pun for the system that it's on, because it's stupid.
And it was also just like, you thought it was Kingdom Hearts 3? Fuck you!
Sora and Riku are sent to a dead world, basically.
A
world that, remember how all the worlds went back, but they didn't reboot properly?
These are the sleeping worlds, the ones that aren't fully awake yet. So it's just like, hey, can you wake up some of these worlds that are sleeping?
This game has 2 of the worst plot twists, and I'm going to give one off right away. Xehanort has learned that if he puts a special X on someone, he can track where they are at any given time.
That sucks.
It's terrible.
He put this X on Sora.
In his Kingdom Hearts 2 design, the X belt's on his ass.
Guys, this one sucks.
Yeah.
It does.
I disagree about the X thing. It's essentially a magical circle thing he's doing. He's like his specific symbol of an X he's imparting onto people.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense. But like a lot of people over exaggerate and say it's on more things. He has to physically place an X on you. And he does that whenever Sora's starting to dive.
So because they're sleeping worlds, you dip into their dreams, and you can sort of like, it's like going into a coma patient and being like, you need to wake up. You need to wake up.
Oh, they're IP troubleshooting all the worlds. Now it makes sense. Why are programming? I don't know how to program. Why are the programming analogies helping me so much?
Because magic is a coding for reality, and this is how Kingdom Hearts works.
So, because...
It is very important to Kingdom Hearts.
Because Xehanort knows where he is, Xehanort who is currently reforming, is like, I need all of you to go make this guy stop doing what he's doing. I want to possess him. And so he puts darkness into Sora as he's ambushed in his Mark of Mastery exam. And he and Riku are both knocked unconscious while fighting a Disney villain.
Okay.
And because Riku has been around Ansem and his evil so much, he instinctively recognizes when it's nearby. He can smell darkness.
You can literally smell it.
Yep.
That's a plot point in Chain of Memories.
He basically has darkness sense. Like, detect good and evil
like
is
a
on him at
paladin,
any
yeah.
given time.
Yeah.
So he goes, so because he recognizes it's here, he dives into Sora's mind.
Riku is a darkness bloodhound. True.
He is.
He is quite literally a darkness bloodhound because he's not actually like a dream traveler in the Mark of Mastery exam. The big plot twist is that he turned himself into the Dream Eater, which is
a Pokemon move. Yeah, I know.
He turned himself into one of those like big mascot characters from Dream Drop Distance, which is why
His
he
whole
has
thing is that they turned into things that can use things to troubleshoot. He became the program.
Again,
He is running the
somehow it
program
helps.
in Sora's head.
Somehow, again, the analogy helps.
So Sora's going
he's
around
an
and waking up
anti-virus.
all of these worlds.
Oh.
And as it's happening, darkness is flowing into Sora slowly and steadily so that they can manipulate him. And Riku's keeping it at bay constantly. But eventually, Sora ends up accidentally jumping to the world that never was.
All right, that's the one. That's the one with the chairs. That's the chair dimension.
Yes. He puts Sora into a chair while he's unconscious so he can try to take him over. But as this is happening, Sora keeps on meeting this weird hooded kid, who is the second bad plot twist that I hate.
Is this
young Xehanort?
No, that's so dumb. I was gonna guess like Xion or something. It's young Xehanort.
No.
Young Ziggy's here. Jesus Christ.
So, Brock, I
Master
get to
of
talk
time
about
magic.
Time travel now.
No, there was time travel. That was the one saving grace.
The only thing I will give young Xehanort is that he's voiced by what's his name? He's an English voice actor that I love.
Oh boy,
he's got a great voice actor. I just hate the plot twist.
I mean, Kingdom Hearts in general has some really great voice actors. They had Leonard Nimoy and shit.
But here's the way time travel works. Remember how you can like be a disembodied spirit?
I vaguely which one had to die for that?
Through time.
You can send your ghost through time. Fuck this. Oh my god.
But you can only send yourself to places your other self would be.
Remember when I was experiencing like true joy talking about 320, 350, whatever? Remember
this
that?
Is true
Remember when I was enjoying
This is the exact opposite. Yeah, no.
Yes.
Remember when I was actually enjoying what we were talking about?
Oh yeah, no. This is the worst game in the entire series.
DS has the best. 3DS has the worst.
So Xehanort has learned that. Remember how Xion is a doll that they put things into?
Yeah, I remember.
You can put people into dolls.
Oh, sure. Of course.
Which lets you bypass the time travel rule.
So yeah, you can only send your spirit through time, but there's a doll he's jumping into. Fucking loophole, whatever. Yeah.
It's a loophole, and we all hate it. So, Druck, you have now experienced being a Kingdom Hearts fan in the most visceral way I can explain, because we all hate this. There's no one who likes this part.
386 over 2 days, DDD, two sides of the same coin, like light in the darkness.
The two things that we learned from Dream Drop Distance: how to travel through time, and that the afterlife of planets is tended to by the souls of dead children.
God, this game sucks. I've liked none of what we've talked about.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to move past it.
It's not even fun dumb. We had fun dumb stuff in other games.
Yeah, no.
Like Birth by Sleep was fun dumb.
But yeah, so 3DS happens. Sora gets rescued by Riku. They come together to create this
I'm
really
so glad
awesome...
I didn't buy this game. I debated in the game shop buying this game.
They work together. They beat young Xehanort in the dream world. Riku wins.
Yeah.
Ryu actually becomes a Keyblade master.
Good for him.
Sora does not, because Jens is just like, oh, you got tricked in the dream world, and so I don't think you're ready to be a master yet.
So now it's his turn to get Anakin.
Except
now we're on to
Sora's
Kingdom
just
Hearts
such a
3.
nice guy. He's like, awesome, Riku's a master.
Yeah, no, Sora's
I
just
love my
genuinely
friend.
happy for Riku.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
the best part of 3DS, where everyone's looking to Sora like, oh my god, this is heartbreaking. And he just turns and gives Riku a hug. He's like, I knew you could do it, man! I knew you could do it!
Oh, that's...
And then
you know
Axel's
what?
in the corner like, hey, I'll be a master soon. Look at
Oh,
my
it's cool.
Maybe it's in the
Keyblade."
wrist or something. Instantly spawns Keyblade.
But yeah,
People
that
liked
is-
me back in the day. Got it memorized? Do you like my catchphrase? I'm here.
Yeah.
That's where we get to Kingdom Hearts 3,
Okay.
which is Xehanort has been pulling all of these dolls with all
Yeah.
of these people he's time traveled.
Yeah. Oh
and
boy.
they don't really matter because his
Uh-huh.
real thing is, I'm just overpowering you with the sheer force of my evil.
He's so evil that he's strong because this is a world where evil and good are magical powers.
Yes.
And he's got a bunch of him
He's been
throughout
banking up a
time.
bunch of evil acts. This is where we refer to the list of crimes. He has committed so many crimes.
Oh my god, the grooming is powering him up.
Yes.
Oh no.
Exactly.
The child
And he's trying
grooming.
to groom Sora.
Yeah, the child grooming, the elder abuse, the continued child grooming, the elder
The
abuse,
libertarianism.
the libertarianism, the centrism.
Yeah, but little does he know that
the
Sora was
racism.
happy for his friend, and it's an act
Sora's
of
too
good.
good to be. Sora literally has the biggest heart on a figurative and literal measure.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
hearts are an actual power system in this fucked up world.
And he has a
Yeah.
bunch of people in his heart making it literally physically
Don't let
big.
Xehanort learn about Discord. Allery, please do clip me shouting, the grooming is making him stronger.
Oh
So-
dear.
Someone needs to change their Discord username to Xehanort and then join the Discord.
Oh, no.
I mean,
Anyways,
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh,
Xehanort's
man.
been shoving all of his crimes into people.
Oh.
He's been
This
shoving
is
all his
so
crimes into
funny.
people, and that's why we have the people with the yellow eyes.
Yeah, Yellow Eyes is a sign
Yeah.
Xehanort has shoved crime into you.
You got Norded by the crime. The crime Norded you.
Yeah.
You've been turned into a Nordicrux. It makes sense
Congratulations, you are now a crime against the universe.
So, see, we jump immediately back
Guys, we say
into-
Discord, but the thing Xehanort shouldn't learn about is Roblox, and we all know it.
Oh,
Has anyone
anyway,
seen that documentary about how fucked up Roblox is? It's not a good place.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Like, even if you ignore
so-
that they allow grooming to happen, it exists on the backs of child labor.
Yeah.
Anyways,
a bunch
let's
of
keep
like,
going.
kid game devs. Anyway.
Yeah, no, it's awful. Let's keep going. Roblox is bad, everybody.
So
It's
what
not
happens?
like, it's like a web documentary you can watch on YouTube.
So what happens is he's doing all this stuff. He's like, okay, doing Ventus and Vanitas failed to make a stable Keyblade.
Yeah,
But
he
there
couldn't make the
is
good
a
one.
prophecy: 13 darknesses and 7 lights clashing together.
Oh my god, so if someone made a bunch on the chair planet had 13 bad guys and then you had like 7 good guys, you get the magic sword.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
I hate
so what-
prophecies. Can I just say that like prophecies when they're written well are great, and they are so rarely written well.
See, there's
Yeah.
some subtle hinting about how many lights are needed.
Uh-huh.
And 13 continuously is brought up as the evil number. You have the 13 evil guys from the original organization.
Uh-huh.
You have the Door to Darkness. You have the 7 Princesses of Heart. It's weird, but it's sort of tolerable.
I don't
But-
like it, but I like it better than every single thing you said about Dream Drop Distance.
Dream Drop Distance gets so little time because I hate it. So we're going to skip most of 3 because a lot of it is all of the bad guys going
Yeah.
to Sora. We know you're trying to circumvent the prophecy, but you literally cannot. If you won't fight us, we'll train the 7 Princesses of Heart, and then we'll fight them.
We're just gonna beat up these young girls. We're gonna give them Keyblades and beat up a bunch of princesses.
The big thing that happens here is that Mickey and Riku go to hell again.
Okay, good for them.
The reason that they go to hell is because Mickey's just like, oh shit, I forgot about Aqua. Because
Left Aqua in hell.
because he was just like, oh, I left her there for 10 years.
Making her Doomslayer was a retcon, so they have to explain it, and they explain it by, oh, I forgot.
No. It's even funnier because canonically, there's a reason Mickey lost his shirt.
What? We have to explain
Heartless,
Mickey's
like,
missing
attacked
shirt?
him and destroyed his shirt while he was in hell, right before the big scene.
Mickey Mouse loses his shirt?
It's a side game, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He got punched off of him.
Should we do the voice? Let me see. Hey guys, I just remembered. I left the Doomslayer in hell. I've been leaving her to suffer for infinite time.
Yeah, that's basically what happens.
Yeah.
So
we should do something about this, team.
Mickey takes the only other master, Riku, and is like, okay, we're gonna go together. And they go and they find Aqua, and Aqua has evil eyes, but she hasn't been Norded. She's just fucking pissed.
Okay, so you get the evil eyes when there's too much crime in your soul, and her crime is being mad at being betrayed and abandoned for 10 infinities?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Even more than that, you can see the effect of the Realm of Darkness in the game, where there are like phantom Aquas that are all repeating every dark thought she's had in her entire time of loneliness and despair.
Alexius, I promised I would take it seriously because I am being a good faith actor and I'm giving Team Kingdom Hearts every chance to convince me that the game isn't bad, so I am taking it fully seriously. This part, Kingdom Hearts 3, I feel like perfect middle. It's not one of the ones that I'm getting excited for. It's a lot like right now Birth by Sleep, where I'm like, yeah, this is dumb in a kind of fun way.
So Aqua shows up. She is evil. She breaks Riku's Keyblade, so he has to go find a new one. Like, you don't understand. Mickey and Riku team up to fight this Doomslayer. And earlier we said Mickey and Aqua were both Doomslayers. Aqua kicks both of their asses.
I mean, she's been training. She's been on that grind.
She has been fighting to survive for 10 eternities in the Realm of Darkness.
She's on that Sigma grind.
Yeah.
She beat the ever-loving shit out of them. They had to go back to plan. And Sora's like, I need to go learn the power of waking. He travels to all these worlds to try to get it. Organization 13 antagonizes him.
Yeah.
But eventually, they do manage to do it. They managed
to drag Doomslayer Aqua out of hell.
And they work with her to undo the security code because no one can just no-clip at will.
Okay.
And then they get Ventus.
And Ventus finally wakes up.
Where's Ventus?
Ventus was in the castle.
In the castle with the security code, remember?
Oh my god, right. So far ago. Holy shit.
Ventus was in the bad house.
Wait. So the entire time Sora was in the bad house having a recap episode.
Ventus was just crammed in the wall somewhere.
The good half of the brain damaged child was shoved in a wall.
No, he's both halves. Remember, they reunited.
Right, he's both halves. He ate the bad half.
See, this is great. I'm loving this.
So now Sora is 3 Soras and Ventus is 2 Soras.
Yes.
Okay.
So they finish collecting all of their heroes. It's Axel, who's a human now, named Lee. It's Riku. It's Mickey. It's Aqua. It's Ventus. It's Kairi. So what happens is they go around, they get all of these people, and they go to fight, and Terra shows up. And they're like, oh,
wait, which Terra? Is it Terra's angry soul that beat up his body? Is his brain damage? Is it Xehanort? Terra's been so many things.
No, Terra's been dissociating this entire time.
Wait, he's been in a dissociative episode for the last 13 years?
Yeah.
Yes, that's not the Terra we find here.
All right.
The Terra we find here is the Terra that got possessed by Xehanort and got dragged and put into a doll. And he's pretending to be the regular Terra.
He's pretending that this is one of the many current Xehanorts because of time travel.
Yeah.
Yes. Ventus is like, my friend, and Aqua's like, don't you dare start this again. But Ventus starts it again. And they get ambushed by like 1 million evil Heartless.
All right, there's a big pile of them. There's the big storm of Heartless. It's the little guys. Can I just say the little guys have the best design of any Heartless, and when there's a bunch of them, it's so cool.
Yeah.
And everyone dies.
Everyone dies.
Okay, didn't expect that.
Everyone dies.
Okay, bye.
And this is where we get the meme of Donald Duck being the strongest caster in the Final Fantasy universe.
Everyone dies except for Sora, who finally goes to heaven. People have been going to hell all this time.
There's a heaven too.
Sora does die, but he
Sora
goes to
dies
heaven.
and goes to heaven.
He goes. So there's heaven too. It's the world of light. Sora's hanging out. What does he do? No, not everyone's Sora. 5 people are Sora, and Sora is 3 Soras right now.
Sora
he ate 2
learns how
Soras.
to truly use the power of waking.
Oh my
which
god!
is control over life
bullshit.
and death.
What the fuck? Why is it called what it is? That's not what that means.
Because you're waking people up from dying.
That's dumb.
It is.
He's doing it to a degree no one else does. Like, they actively point out that Sora's like unnaturally good at how he's doing
because
that
he's
to the point that he just
hearts.
So let's use the programming analogy again. He has so many resources. If you have like a quantum computer, Sora's heart is a quantum computer that is able to reach across so many networks almost instantaneously because he has so much friendship Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
He's essentially able to like recall a person from the recycle bin and just bring
He
them
finds
back
the
almost
shadow
instantly.
print.
Ugh,
Yeah,
He gets
okay.
the shadow print and reconstructs the program.
He drags his friends back from death, and they all start to fight. And do you remember how Terra's spirit has been disassociating in a field for 13 years?
It's possessing his magic suit of space armor because he's so mad.
Yes.
So what happens is Sora sort of reboots them back to the point where everyone was about to die. And then just as Ventus is about to fuck everything up like Peter Quill, Terra's disassociating armor shows up and proceeds to beat the shit out of his own body.
Again.
It's
Again.
great.
This is the second time that his dissociative episode spirit has possessed a suit of space armor to beat up his
it's the
differently
same
possessed
incident.
body.
It just
Oh, you're
has
right.
the
It's a
same
continuation. It's a 13-year later continuation.
Yes. He's in here and he's just going ham. And you go around and you fight all the Real Organization 13 people. And this is the one moment I had to talk about. I'm leaving after this. You fight Ansem Xehanort, the one who is like Terra's possessed body. And there's this amazing scene. You're helping Aqua fight him off. It's like a 3v2. It's Ventus and Ansem Terra versus Aqua, Ventus, and Sora.
Okay, so the centrist's Heartless is now fully in possession of Anakin Skywalker.
Yes.
Yes.
And you're fighting them. And do you remember how Ansem in the first game had that weird shadow?
Yeah, that would like
you?
that one Soul Calibur 5
Dark
character.
Shadow.
This is my favorite thing in all of Kingdom Hearts 3. Because it's revealed in this fight that shadow is Terra's heart. Because
they had retcon potential to call it whatever they wanted, so that's a good idea.
You get the scene of where he's beating the shit out of everyone and he almost wins. And the Shao just starts ripping darkness off of himself and breaking all of these chains. He ends up reclaiming his body. And it's just this incredibly awesome moment. And I love it so much. Because Anakin Skywalker finally gets to throw Emperor Palpatine down the fucking electrical shaft. It is an incredibly heartfelt moment, just like I'm leaving everyone else off with the idea of Xion and Roxas get a chance to reunite.
Wait, they do? I thought Sora ate them. I guess he ate them both. They're both inside of him. That
you
makes
know how
sense.
the time travel thing happens?
The time travel!
And with that, I am leaving.
I'll pick it up where you left off.
Yeah.
Godspeed. So, we talked about the heartfelt moment. Terra pulled the Anakin Skywalker throwing Palpatine down the electrical shaft.
He was even a suit of armor. He did it all.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was really the Darth Vader, and he was able to reclaim his own body. And then Terra, Aqua, and Ventus all get to reunite. Terra is crying. Everyone is crying because Ventus made a promise that he would help them find their way back, and it's very heartwarming and sweet. So basically, all of these boss fights with the Organization 13 members is Sora reconnecting all of these separated trios, which is very sweet.
Okay, because he's a good guy, he's a good boy, and he wants to help everybody.
Yep. So, Xion is one of the new Organization 13 members as well.
What?
But
Sora ate her.
Again, we're talking about the time travel.
They took her from the past. Okay.
Yeah, so they returned from the past now. So they took her, put her in a future doll. So now she's here along with a bunch of the other ones.
She was in a doll to begin with. Why not?
Since they already had that doll program, they just made more of those dolls. Xion's there. Xemnas is just like, oh, that's right. You were friends with Lee. Why don't you kill him then?
Lee is Axel.
Yep.
Okay.
Lee is Axel.
Yeah.
And then Xion starts to remember because Sora comes in front and just like, please don't do this. And a beam of light comes down from the sky and Roxas comes in and starts beating everyone's ass.
Okay, so Roxas comes from heaven and beats them up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now we skipped over
that
the good guys. The good guys are doing their own replicas, and they're like, we gotta find a way to rip these good people out of Sora's heart, so we have more people to beat up Xehanort.
So because Sora ate too many Soras, so they gotta get them out so that they have more people.
Yeah, so off screen they got a replica body for Roxas. So now Roxas has his own body.
Okay.
Lee is his own full human person again. Xion has her own body currently, but is currently being controlled.
Mm-hmm.
And now that Roxas is able to join the fray, he's able to help out. It's all good. Now we see Xion is regaining her memories. Xemnas breaks Lee's Keyblade.
Okay, Xemnas is the Heartless Xehanort.
Xemnas is the nobody.
The
Xemnas is
nobody,
the
you're right.
arse-
Ansem's the Heartless.
Yes.
Fake Ansem. Ansem is Ansem. Fake Ansem.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, fake Ansem is the identity fraud. Don't worry, you're doing
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Xemnas is the atheist. So he's just like, okay, well, you're clearly not going to do it because you have feelings and you are remembering, so you're no longer a useful puppet anymore. He was always treating her like a puppet. Now she's back, and now you have the Days trio, sans Axel because he doesn't have his Keyblade right now, with Sora fighting against Syx and Xemnas, and it's the hypest shit because you get to hear Roxas's theme during this entire thing with Vector to the Heavens, and it's fantastic. Anyway, so that's
I will
just a
say,
tangent.
this is the point of the Let's Play where I didn't know what was happening. I imagine if I watched it now, I would uncomfortably know what was happening.
I will just say that, like, as a Days fan, it was a very hype moment for me to see, one, the reunion, and two, the ability to beat ass with those characters.
Fun fact, Xemnas is not only an anagram of Ansem X, but also man sex.
Yeah.
Great. That's important.
So
I'm glad chat gave us that.
You go around, you fighting all the Organization 13 members, you defeat all of those, and now we're getting to the end game where it's just like, okay, Xehanort has run out of all these body doubles. So
he's running out of Norts.
He's running out of Norts. He's kind of reaching the end of his plan. It's just like, well, I guess I'm gonna just go back to what I do best: grooming and manipulating children.
No, Xehanort!
And he goes and pulls out Kyrie, who he took as hostage earlier
ago.
Takes Kyrie during one of the fights. Xemnas took her hostage and is just like, okay, and slices her. And it looks like he kills her. And
as he does.
Yeah, he functionally kills her. And Sora just like is outraged. He's essentially like, this is all some big scheme in order to make Sora commit such an ultimate taboo that the universe writes him out of existence so that Xehanort will have no obstacle.
How does that make sense? He's done.
That was not intentional. That just.
It was not intentional. It was more of a side effect. But
how is crime his superpower, and yet you can do a crime too bad that you get written out of reality? That's what?
So. Okay, there's a lot of context there that I have to explain, but
no.
Yeah, I'm gonna blaze through it as fast as I can.
Okay.
So Xehanort split Kyrie into a bunch of pieces of like crystal petal hearts and hid them across this sealed world.
You can just turn people into anything at this point.
It's more you just hit her so hard she exploded across reality.
Yeah. So now Sora has to collect those pieces in order to basically bring back his missing piece, because Kyrie's essentially the key to his powers. So he gets all of those pieces, but the way to do that is because they're spread across time and space. He has to he has to use the power of waking to go back in time.
Because the power over life and death lets you time travel. Yeah. Okay, so we're getting further from Birth by Sleep territory of how much I'm liking this and closer towards DDD.
That's fair.
We kind of skipped past Kingdom Hearts 3 for a moment there, talking about the Kyrie stuff.
Oh, right.
Oh,
I forgot.
This is in Remind.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Remind is like the post-game of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
The point of Kingdom Hearts 3 is essentially like, you've beaten all these things, you get the pieces of Kyrie, you rescue her, you are able to make it to this big final boss where like essentially Xehanort has like summoned all of these suits of armor of like former Keyblade masters that were under his control because he made them commit war crimes. You know that big war at the beginning that they all killed each other?
Hold up. Xehanort wasn't a part of that war. The armors in Kingdom Hearts 3 are all extra replicas that Xehanort made. Because he's like, if I can make copies, I'm just going to ensure they can't follow me and have these beat them up.
Oh, no.
He just made a bunch of robots to fight the cast, and then they beat him up.
Yeah, he made a bunch of robots to fight the cast. They beat him up. And then all this comes together where, like, at the final fight in the original game of Kingdom Hearts 3, Sora's on the final platform, beating this giant laser. Donald and Goofy are by his side. His friends are his power. And he uses the power of friendship to fire a laser through Xehanort. And thus, the crimes have been ended. As Xehanort is dying, the ghost of... Did we use Obi-Wan for... Yeah.
Yeah, the ghost... I think we called him Luke Skywalker, but the point is the ghost of the Jedi man who said the emotions are bad.
Yeah, the ghost of
The
the
ghost of
emotionally
his old
repressed.
boyfriend.
Yeah, the ghost of his old boyfriend is just like, okay, time for you to go to heaven now, because clearly that's
Go
where
to
you
heaven,
deserve to
buddy.
go.
Wait. The guy whose power is fueled by crimes gets to go to heaven.
He gets to go to heaven with his boyfriend. Yes.
Fuck that.
It's not quite heaven. It's
I-
more of a he takes him back to the original source of all life, which is Kingdom Hearts. It's essentially like it's neutral.
All I'm saying
not
is
like heaven,
this is
you're in paradise.
really liberal identity politics. Equality means that we don't send a man to heaven just for being gay when he's committed this many heinous acts.
Yeah, no, it's I don't say heaven. I don't mean like the actual like Kingdom Hearts like sky blue heaven. That's
So he's
the
not
opposite
he's
of
not in the
hell.
place where Sora gets his magic powers. He just gets to go to Kingdom Hearts
it's
instead
just
of
like it's time for you to go to the afterlife.
Yeah, he gets escorted to the
Yeah.
afterlife by his boyfriend, who's like, we both made some bad decisions, and
You so many more than me.
you so many more. Most of my bad decisions were related to not acknowledging your bad decisions.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's what happens, and then we reach to the ending cutscenes because
Because
Roxas and
Xehanort into heaven.
yeah, because Roxas and Xion have their replica bodies, they can just exist in the present now, and like they're totally fine.
They have a
And
nice beach party.
They have
It's
a
nice
nice
that they
beach
get a happy
party.
ending, but the time travel shit is dumb enough that I'm like, fuck them.
And then at the ending cutscene, all of the other like side characters are looking to see Sora and Kairi holding hands on this tree. They're moving in for what looks like maybe a kiss or some tender moment, and then Sora disappears.
Fucking hell.
Sora-
This because his crimes?
He committed the greatest necromancy the world has ever seen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sora has been reviving people, bouncing between afterlives and time so much. His entire essence is like quantumly destable, and the universe just can't sustain to hold him anymore. And so it just like, F it, he's not in reality anymore.
It does seem like the only reason the good guys won in this story is that they cheated.
No,
Yes,
it's-
okay,
that's
yeah.
actually canonical.
Okay.
Yeah, they cheated because, like, by all extents, Xehanort technically played within the rules.
Broke the rule of
It's
equivalent
just
exchange.
the rules were dumb, and he set up the rules.
What's so funny is that the game has like at the beginning, it opens with a chess game between young Xehanort and Ericus. And Xehanort is the
Young
better
Ziggy and
player.
Eric.
He
Got it.
actively checkmates. And then Ericus goes, well, guess what? I'm gonna cheat and add more pieces on the board. I win.
So, okay, so straight up, this is a story about it's good if good guys cheat because good should win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of based, honestly.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I genuinely appreciate that. The entire point, because like one of the big things about Xehanort that we didn't really talk about is that he accounts for every eventuality because he has this power of
Alexius,
foresight
that's so funny.
given by, you know, that Master of Masters guy at the very beginning at Union Cross where it's
holy
just like, oh, I
shit.
have future sight powers, right?
Yeah, him. Holy fuck. Yeah, way back.
The entire reason that Sora is a danger is because he's so dumb and cheats that he can't be predicted by future sight.
Because he
He
cheated.
literally-
Yep.
He destabilized all reality to cheat.
And what Ericus saw coming is that Sora is such a good boy that he wouldn't consider the grave consequences of breaking the fabric of reality open just to win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. I hate how much that makes so much of the dumb shit better. Because it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah,
It
no,
actually makes it
the
better.
Kingdom Hearts story is just like, okay, retroactively, I guess this makes this worth it, but I still hate that you put me through all of this. And yet I'm
exactly.
still doing
It's
this.
all self-justifying bullshit.
It's all self-justifying bullshit, and yet we like it.
Have we come to the end? Have we come to the end for a final verdict?
Technically, yes. We've reached the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. Remind
Oh,
is basically
boy,
just,
yeah.
it adds more context to like how and why Sora disappeared and where he went.
Okay, so
Yeah,
do you want to
credits are
briefly
rolling.
explain that?
It's just basically like, okay, Sora committed the ultimate taboo, which was basically, like King said, quantum destabilized his particles so much in order to bring people back to life
Yeah.
that the universe functionally ejected him out of reality. The way that he was doing that was traveling back in time at different points where his heart was traveling into different people that he was connected to in order to essentially make the timeline go better. The reason that this is interesting is because in Remind, you get to choose whether you play as Sora or an alternate character. And you get to play as Roxas, you get to play as Aqua, You get to play as Ventus.
Uh-huh.
You get to play as Kairi for the final fight of the fucking game.
Well,
The
that's fun.
first time that Kairi's ever been allowed to fight.
Yeah, and she kicks butt.
What is happening canonically when you were playing all these adventures?
Canonically, what is happening is that Sora is body jumping through time
He's
between
quantum
all of
leaping.
his friends in order to make sure the timeline runs smoothly.
He's quantum leaping between all of his friends to rewrite the timeline.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe the next jump will be the one that takes him home.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because
You
he
can't
got
jump anymore.
it's called unreality. If we look into the secret endings and all that stuff, the idea is that there's reality, which is just everything that's been happening in Kingdom Hearts, and then unreality,
Uh-huh.
which is what are called fictional worlds.
Oh my fucking god. So the stupid video
Rock,
game
Rock.
in the
It gets
Toy
worse.
Story level that I got mad at the beginning.
That's a fictional world.
Things get worse. No, things get
Oh,
way, way, way
God,
worse.
I was starting to forgive this slightly, and now I'm gonna get angrier, aren't I?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So that Final Fantasy knockoff that you saw in the Toy Story world, that's the fictional reality that Sora
Yep.
got sent to.
Yeah.
Unreality is way, way more complicated
Oh,
and
fucking
kind of a
hell.
little contradicted with Yozora. So, unreality, as explained by Ansem the Wise, and is actually a topic in other sci-fi stories I've seen. Everything in reality is real. Even like things we call fiction, like books, are
Uh-huh.
considered in reality because they exist in reality as a thought.
Uh-huh.
Unreality is so deep into fiction that the concepts that make it up cannot be perceived. Answer the Why straight up says, fictional and data worlds exist because we can think of them, they exist as thought. Unreality is completely separate. It's like a world without any concepts, light,
But then
darkness,
how does the
nothing.
video game exist in the Toy Story level?
We don't know yet, but we
Oh,
found
no.
in like in a Melody of Memory, we're getting a tease that like someone escaped from unreality and is kind of messing a little with things from the afterlife.
Yeah,
So
the
it's
heaven
something
place,
to do with it.
basically Sora met someone in there who was from the unreality. And is
Oh
just
my
kind of
God.
chilling in
Yeah.
heaven right now.
This
Yes.
this
And
is,
if-
how did they make it so much worse?
I can't bring up The World Ends With You because that's its own sort of plot line and
Oh,
storyline,
boy,
but World
yeah.
Ends With You showed... You know how 3DS is the worst game?
Yeah?
The World Ends With You showed up in 3DS as a cameo, and one of the characters, his name is Joshua, and he's an
Uh-huh.
angel. And an
Oh,
angel has access to alternate dimensions. And The World Ends With You was Tetsuya Nomura's original sort of brainchild before
Uh-huh.
Kingdom Hearts.
Wait, so
The
is
World
this
Ends With-
so I've heard some statements about this. Is Kingdom Hearts 3's unreality breaking a way of getting his stories into Kingdom Hearts 3 so he has more creative control?
Correct.
Yeah,
So
okay,
it's-
makes sense.
Because we just had The World Ends With You Neo, so it's very likely that we are having like an expanded sort of universe of what like the World Ends With You universe is, and that's the unreality that Sora
Oh,
got
no.
launched into.
Oh no. Okay, I think if that's where we leave off, I am ready to talk about my verdict after this incredible presentation the three of you have given me.
No, that's totally fair. I think that's
Is
as far
there
as
more?
we...
If there's more, I will listen.
No, there's the one side game that came out, which is Melody of Memory, and that's basically where Kairi got her own game, except she didn't because Sora possessed her body.
Oh man, I enjoyed this more than I expected. There is a surprising amount of it I got really into. I really do love dumb media if it's the right kind of dumb, and I think parts of this were really the right kind of dumb. And Days wasn't even dumb, like it was just good. Like I have solid memories of watching the Let's Play and talking about it with you guys. I got genuinely excited, so that's not even the good kind of dumb, but the good kind of dumb for me is really Birth by Sleep. Like that's, to me, when we were talking about it, that's someone ripping off Star Wars Episode 3 as hard as they can without getting sued. But
well,
in a
Disney owned... I think
Yeah.
Disney owned Star Wars by that
So
point,
you're
so I
right, they
think it would
wouldn't get
actually have
sued. They
been
were
fine.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
but like that came across as the fun kind of stupid, like a stupid where I was like, this is really cool and good. Kingdom Hearts 1, I was shocked at how convoluted the very ending of it really was, because I kind of just ignored a lot of that as a kid and was like, yeah, whatever. But I think people act like the Kingdom Hearts 1 story was simple and it all got complicated from there. I think the storytelling got worse from there because it was scattered game to game to game, but I was genuinely surprised realizing, no, this level of convolution has always been the DNA of this series.
Yeah.
Like, that's not new to it, and I actually think Kingdom Hearts 1 was another one where it's like, no, this is the good kind of fun and dumb and convoluted. Kingdom Hearts 2, a little bit less so. I honestly, in retrospect, think Kingdom Hearts 2 is really leaning on Days a lot for its quality. But Kingdom Hearts 3, I've come from that with a surprise, which is I had heard a lot of people talk about how it's a really bad ending because it doesn't act on Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3, but I think it's kind of the perfect ending, because when you guys were describing it, it feels like it gets the good dumb from the other games, it gets the bad dumb from the other games, and it gets a little bit of the like really touching good writing from Days in it. Like it kind of represents all of the series up to that point.
This YouTuber I watch, Super Butterbuns, she did a phenomenal video on Kingdom Hearts 3 and just kind of like the baggage that it had to carry going into like everyone's expectations for it, and how Remind kind of had to adjust those expectations after the initial release. Because people were mad after the initial game, and then once Remind came out, everyone kind of like changed their tune a little bit more to see like, okay, no, this is what we've come to expect. This feels a bit better now. Put yourself in the shoes of a Kingdom Hearts fan who bought Kingdom Hearts 3 at launch, played the entire game, and got the ending where Sora disappears. With no explanation.
That's the part that feels most wild to me. That the explanation that he was punished for breaking the laws of reality is something that didn't get to be included.
They kind of teased it because young Xehanort is able to see time travel, and he stops Sora partway through, and he's like, something bad's going to happen to you. You're going to be gone.
I have to imagine there are a lot of people who are a casual Kingdom Hearts fan and didn't play all the games who have gotten used to, by necessity, ignoring a lot of the dialogue.
Yeah, I mean, Riku, they put bugs in him.
Yeah.
They put bugs in him?
We don't need to talk about coded, but basically there's a thing where they're trying to decode a diary, and so
That's another one I couldn't get through the Let's Play of.
Yeah, they're trying to
decode
a diary.
Just for memes.
They're trying to decode a diary that's written in some language, and they use a data Sora because that has never gone wrong.
Oh my god, right.
Basically, the idea is that like the evil creatures in that game are bugs, and they put bugs in Riku.
God, this has been... Thank you guys so much for this. This has been such a wild ride. Thanks everybody for watching and stream, by the way. This has been such a weirdly fun time.
Oh, geez. My legacy is going to be, I do not consider autism a form of brain damage.
Look, to be fair, that's a good opinion.
Yeah. Now that you're looking at my name, I think you've noticed something.
There's an X in it. Did you make your own?
I've been here the whole time.
You made your own little Norded name.
But yeah, shout outs to the fun little things in Kingdom Hearts that really made me happy. I love the Days trio. They're my favorites.
They're great.
I will not take any arguments on this subject.
I had a shockingly fun time. Most of this is so fucking dumb, but I have a place in my heart for really dumb media, and I think there is good dumb media, and talking through Birth by Sleep genuinely comes across that way. It's so melodramatic and soap opera-y. It's just fun. The timestamp for all the stupid things is from 0 to 3 hours and 9 minutes. Only bad media is boring media is actually not a bad take. That was so fun. All right. Later, guys. Have a good one. And until next time, it's been lovely talking to you. Oh, fuck. I knocked my thing off. I interrupted it. It's been lovely. Oh,